Better leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hopes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been golden when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hopes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The feels not falling for the FOMO. Listening to coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
board.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hopes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits, yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeChain, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't already done so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below. Then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. Getting some feedback.
I'm getting some feedback. I don't know what it's about.
A little bit of echo.
Is it my? Yeah, I'm plugged in there. Haven't had a problem with other co-hosts. So I'm wondering if it's on your end. Because I think it's coming. Might be. What about now?
We're fine. I can just work this slider when yeah, I'll figure it out. Everyone can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, can people hear Cap? Let us know if you can hear Cap in the okay, can hear Steve, but not Cap in the space. No sound on spaces. So it's interesting. Check your audio because now I'm getting the echo again. Got some thumbs down. I'm not sure if they're hearing me. I'm hoping they're hearing me. You guys can hear me, correct? Abs hears my echo too.
So you can hear both on video. Well, while we're figuring this out, go hit that like, repost, and bookmark up top. Seen a lot of doubt. Now I see a thumbs up.
All right, so thumbs up. We are hearing Cap. So tell us, like, so you guys are saying you're hearing me. If Cap talks, can you hear Cap? Because I had other co-hosts jump in the seats and there was not a thing. So it must be something with our boards crossing streams or something. I don't know. It's Let's see if we get the old echo here.
I can kill your echo. I can slide down something that kills your that eliminates the echo, but I just want to make sure I'm still being heard as well. Because whatever's happening, I'm getting, like, when I talk, I even hear myself echoing. So I'm getting somehow hearing it come back from your end.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it has something to do with us both using boards, because I don't know if everybody was using a board with me at some point. Can you, well, here's a question. Can you plug directly into the computer instead of a board for just today until we figure it out and see if that works?
No, I can't do that.
Yeah. Just can't hear Cap. I'm coming through. I'm hearing when Cap talks, we do not hear hold on. Blame the markets. We can hear Steve. If anybody wants to hop up on stage who maybe can explain to us what they're hearing, that would be helpful too. Or, send us a message here, or anybody in Discord or anything. So I was listening at Steve's audio sounds echo. Audio sounds good on YouTube, says Von Frunton. Nobody can hear us both on YouTube. We're getting, it says Steve's Roadcaster probably, but my Roadcaster has been good all week. So it's the first time we've had a plug-in. I will try unplugging and plugging back in just to see what happens, because there could be a cord thing going on here. Give me 1 sec. So we're going to try now in a second here, because there was a weird little rap in my cord and it was being annoying. Try talking again.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Ooh, major echo. Even worse. I don't know what to do on my board. Did not have anything, but it sounds, let's see. YouTube sounds good. No echo on here. Cap, like,
is the echo on now?
I don't hear an echo now.
So I can turn down the echo, but the problem is that I don't think we may just have to battle through it when anyone, because basically when I turn down, it's cutting off all other audio from basically spaces. So if someone comes up, I'll just play with that througroug't the show. But can everyone hear?
Spaces will come through my board, so we should be fine if anyone comes up.
Maybe that's it. I just have to keep that turned all the way down since we're live from your.
Ooh. So I wonder if I'm going to have the same issue when we go live from your soundboard. Yep. We just need to.
So I don't know how you have yours turned, like, set up, but basically there's 2 mics that I throttle, and one is our voice, the other is Space's voice. I just turned the Spaces all the way down. And we got Aspiring Nobody going to come up and help us out. But give us a thumbs up if we're good now. That's solved. I'll just keep the second mic turned all the way down, and then I'll show you. I mean, I'm assuming yours. Is
it the knob on the top, or is it the slider on the side?
Slider.
There's
two sliders that I work, and one is specifically my mic, and the other one is everyone else's audio. So everyone else's audio I just turned all the way down.
That's what it is. Aspiring Nobody. GM, let us know. Can you now hear us both? Are we now coming through?
Yeah, you guys sound great. I just wanted to hop up to see if you guys having a guest was going to give you issues or not.
Sounds good. Yeah, I can give us a thumbs up if everyone can hear Aspiring Nobody.
Yeah, so let us know in the War Room, on YouTube, in Abstract, and in Spaces. Thumbs up across the board. Do us a favor, or maybe comment. Let us know. Von Frunton said, just saying, 0 audio issues when I was co-host. Yeah, do us a favor. Let us know for sure if you could hear Aspiring Nobody. Cap, we're good. I think we're getting all the thumbs up. So this is a good hack to know, because now that I am a soundboard guy, no big deal, soundboard guy now, I will actually need to put down my slider. Dobbins giving us all the love. I love Dobbins. Is like, I can't wait to see Dobbins at 8Fest. Dude got a fucking tattoo at last 8Fest, a Bored Ape Yacht Club tattoo. Absolute vibe. Thank you, Dobbins. Here every day. Sounds like we're doing okay, though, from all the thumbs up and all the sound things coming through, and silky smooth on the Spaces. So when your board is up, I will slide my slider down. We're going to test it, though. We're going to go echo off the rip in Monday when that happens. And if not, we'll see if it works. But Diego, do we sound good? I see you popped up as well. So everything's good?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's perfect. I don't hear echo.
Awesome. All right, Cap. Let's restart this and run it back. It's look, it's like when the preseason starts, we're like, it's preseason for the refs too. Everybody's knocking off the rust. We're back. Cap goes on a tropical vacation. He's sipping Mai Tais, not really because he doesn't drink, but you get the idea. And now we're getting our audio in order. But Cap, you want to rip us from the beginning again? Just pretend Pagan started from here.
Yeah, real quick one more time. Just if you haven't done so, give us a like, repost, a bookmark on today's space. It does warm up the algo and does us a real solid. You can find that Spaces link pinned up top. as well as the chat for Abstract and YouTube. Both those are live. If you haven't missed any shows this week, the carousel is also pinned up top. You can go catch those replays or go hit coffeewithcaptain.com. Subscribe to the newsletter. You'll get the update this afternoon. That weekly newsletter comes out. We don't spam you, just once a week, and we'll get you the each of the recordings for the week. No badges to claim this week, but boy, do we have a big show coming up next week. You're not going to want to miss that, so make sure you're dialed in. We got show number 1000 on tap next week. We'll be doing. We got some massive giveaways courtesy of the ApeCo team as well as OpenPage, and I think we may see if we can juice up the pot a little bit. So if actually, you know what, Steve, I'm just going to put it out there in public before we even reach out to any of our other partners. We're gonna do a blowout special for show 1000. So if any of our prior sponsors, we'll hit you with the DMs as well. But maybe we can get a BZ Claw draw. Maybe I know we got another sponsor we're going to kick off next week. So you're not going to want to miss next Thursday. Is my math right? 97, 98, 99. Yes. Next Thursday's show, we'll give away more money on Coffee with Captain than ever before. Maybe we might give away more money on next Thursday's show than we've given away in the first 999 shows combined. I'm not certain of that, but we got a lot with several $1,000 will be going to listeners next Thursday. It's the least we can do for all the support for 999 shows. So appreciate y'all being here. As always, I'm Cap, Joe, my co-host, Steve, never any financial advice on the show. Crypto's risky, NFTs risky, meme coins exceptionally risky to zero moments notice. Everything's risky right now, especially your longs, as I found out on an island. Had some liquidation spots. Oh, these are safe. There's no way we're touching this stuff. Boy, was I a little off there. I don't know what you guys did to nuke the charts, but good to be back for many reasons, not just to get locked in, but the refresher, the recharge was great. And just don't follow us for financial advice. We're certainly not financial advisors. Definitely not your financial advisor. Just join us for some fun, some information, and education along the way. GM Steve, how you doing, sir?
GM, I'm doing fantastic, actually. I woke up this morning in a absolutely fantastic mood. I do this weigh-in on Fridays, every Friday, because my cheat day is Saturday, so I like to get it in before I do that, because I've been on this more hardcore diet. Really strictly, like almost no veggies, mostly meat, some veggies here and there.
I know veggies. What do veggies do to you?
It's just I'm just going like almost. I basically am trying to more or less not throw myself into ketosis, but basically be like completely carnivore, because you just like they are carbs, even if they aren't. Is it complex carbs or is it refined carbs? They're not refined carbs, but they're complex carbs. So I'm getting what I need as far as the health goes from my vitamins and things that I take there. And I've just been doing, it's not no veggies, but I'm just going lighter on the veggies and no carbs whatsoever. I had my first piece of bread last week on my cheat day in like a month. So that was interesting. A couple observations. Number one, I am down about 10 pounds in a month. So that worked. Yeah. And it's funny because it's not fair, because I don't look tubby when I gain weight, but I also don't look like I've lost weight when I lose weight, unless you compare it to like old pictures for real. And I still probably have like 5 to 7 pounds to go, but either way, like down about 10 pounds, feels good. Also plays way into workouts. I ran 8 miles the other day and probably could have kept going, but I didn't want to hurt myself and was feeling good. So obviously, who knew what you put into your body affects your performance on outcome with exercise. So good stuff there. I ran 7 the previous week and felt really good. And I was like, that felt surprisingly good. And I thought I had more in the tank, and then ripped 8 while watching football highlights on Monday on the treadmill at about a 9:10 pace, which is not as fast as I was running when I was running a lot, but not bad. So, performance getting better. Also, speaking of performance getting better, my son's been lifting. My son have been running. Fucking kid scored 2 goals at his soccer game yesterday, including he rocketed one from midfield. So they didn't have enough players because it's a smaller league, and they had some players not show up because it's a weird weekday and it was a game that was kind of out there. So they played 9-on-9 instead of 11-on-11. So they played on a smaller field. A ball's coming in at half, and he just clocks it because he needed to clear it because there's a guy coming up on him, and he clocked it so hard it went over the goalie's head and into the goal. So he scored from half. He scored one that was on a set play where he beautifully made a run, trapped the ball, popped it in. And he's one of the smaller kids in the field. By the way, my son's in 6th grade. He's playing in a 7th and 8th grade league right now. Because this is the Rekt, not the travel one. And he's playing in a 7th and 8th grade league. So he's playing with kids who are like literally like feel like they're twice his size. In fact, there are a couple high school freshmen who play in this league here and there. And him as a sixth grader, 11 years old, 2 goals, and even his best game of his life. So just one of those things, you know what it's like being a sports parent when they play well. It's like, there's nothing like it. You're just so happy. And he played really well. And so I got an ApeCoin LP video that I'm going to be dropping later today, so people can start learning how to LP on Hyperliquid with Ape. So feeling good, man. Feeling good. It is a good Friday, even though the markets are red. How about you? Coming back from vacay, hadn't really taken a beat all year, finally getting a little, getting yourself a chance to do it. How you feeling?
I feel great, man. I feel pretty good. Good for the recharge. I actually ate pretty decent on vacation. Probably not as good as yourself, but did have some fresh sashimi that I shared pick yesterday morning. Cut a nice mahi the day prior and flayed that sucker up and ate pretty well. I have a few things. Like, I know we're out of cold open, but one thing I had to share because is Joey out there this morning?
I think he's not. He's playing a baseball game. Actually, Joey's going to be my co-host yesterday, and not Joey's fault. He's waiting for the schedule to come out. He was pretty locked in, and the schedule got him out early. That's why I was solo yesterday. So he has his softball tournament in Texas, where he is solo at the moment. He pulled his hamstring on day 1. And so he's now, but you know, Joey Vowles, like, you talk about a great guy. Joey Vowles is just like, he was like, look, pulled my hamstring. So the best thing I can do is help the team, coach, be there to support them, do some third base coaching, make sure I can do, like, of course, Joey Vowles' reaction to pulling his hamstring on day 1 was that.
Joey is going to be a phenomenal coach when his kids get of sports age, like all 17 of them. He's going to, like, he'll probably have more games coached than, like, I don't even know. I don't know who has, I almost said a bad name. I'm not going to say, but we'll go with Don Shula. He's going to have more games coached than Don Shula if you combine all his kids in the game solo coach. But I think he'll be
Don Shula. That's a fresh reference. It's a fresh 1994 reference for you. A little Don Shula action. I like to hear it. The
other name that popped in my head is just not legendary coach, but not one we really speak of anymore.
Do they have a big game this weekend against the Ducks?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not, I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, actually, I was going to say, like, never mind. I don't know. It's, he's going to coach more games than Bill Cosby. Anyway, go ahead, Cap. Get us going.
So anyways, real quick quote open. And I'll probably have to tell Joey again because we give him a hard time for his Android phones and his green text bubbles. I've been communicating a lot recently with someone who also has the green text bubbles and has one of the newer Google phones. So we're in St. Croix. We're at a nice, like, jewelry store, and true story, I kid you not, for the first time in my life, you know, I've got my iPhone. She's got her fancy Google phone. Not one, but both of the ladies, both of the jewelry sales reps, their eyes lit up and they're like, oh my God, is that the Google phone? She's like, yeah, what do you guys have? Oh, just iPhones. It was my fucking jaw dropped, man. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen this sort of reaction over a phone since like 2011 when Verizon got the iPhone and people were like, oh, the iPhone. They got all giddy about it. Like, still in the US Virgin Islands, but it was a jaw dropping experience for me to see someone else like oohing and awing over a Google phone. And they're like, yeah, we just got these cheap old little iPhones. And they weren't like old ones either. They were just iPhones. But it's just like I can always say here, like, yeah, globally, Google has won, Android has won, iPhone, the US, like, yeah, iPhones are everywhere. But as far as like market dominance, that's very US centric. And even getting a little off mainland US and into the islands, it was absolutely the case. They can't get these Google phones on the islands. It's what everyone wants. And yeah, I just had to share that for all of our green text bubble friends out there.
Yeah, it feels like Apple is falling a little behind, and feels like we're having a moment with some of the other Android and Google phones, the flip phones. So hey, look, I mean, could be heading that direction. Apple fumbling a 3-1 lead, and again, and seeing them go downhill. So look, we shall see. But Cap, I want to get into the market a little bit. How much were you? I mean, you went away, and there was definitely some blood in the streets. It wasn't exactly the finest week we've had. If one thing is consistent, it's that everybody is always wrong about everything. I've said this before, and I've run into it, I think several times now. Like, every time that we have had a major prediction in the market's going to absolutely bleed going into the Jackson Hole meeting. Jackson Hole meeting, market is absolutely going to boom. ETH all-time highs on Sunday. Oh my God, we're never going to go down again. Next week, we bleed out. After that, we start going back up. Rate cuts are going to send us. It was kind of expected, but a little bit of a bump up. Oh my God, to Valhalla. Then we start bleeding out like crazy. Hyperliquid's unstoppable. On comes a competitor, and boom, all of a sudden Aster's around, and we're seeing Hyperliquid bleed out like we've never seen before. It's just, the markets are marketing right now in a way that is just, as usual, completely unpredictable, which is why I'm not saying that nobody should. I think some people can play it really well. You seem to have done well in this, but like with the perp trading, I just feel like I can't quite watch it enough or pay quite close enough attention to do it. Just given the fact that like it's just so unpredictable at the moment, and it's hard to see down what's happening next. I remain bullish. I remain excited about what's coming in Q4. We've never had more. As long as we're not going to a global war, I'm not going to talk about that because nobody has any idea what they're talking about when it comes to that either. But as long as we don't end up in a global conflict, I still don't see how we don't continue to move positively and press forward. Just a downtime, taking a breather for a little bit, but it has been down hard for about a week now, basically since you whipped over to St. Croix.
Yeah, it was like, fortunately, I'm grateful that I've just got numb to these swings, and so it didn't impact my week at all, other than when I came home and my leaving, just holding basically cost me more money than the entire vacation. But that's fine. A little shocked just how precipitous the dips were. Maybe it is just leverage getting flushed out. Maybe it is some whale games. Doesn't make sense. I know there's pullbacks. I know all that stuff. This seems a little extreme.
Exceptionally, right? Like exceptionally.
Yeah. More so than normal for a bull market pullback, I think. Again, that wasn't out in this week. It just being candid, my reactions was, whoa, that's way lower than I would have thought, even for a barring any, like. So I saw someone say this, like, we used to have like Luna collapse and FTX collapse. Now we just call it Thursday. Like, if you would have just looked at the charts this week, you were like, well, what fuck happened? What centralized exchange went belly up? What black swan event was there? Nope, just a sell off, just some liquidations. And I think that was yes, is there a potential threat of global conflict? Yeah, but I don't really think that's what maybe added to the sell off yesterday. But I don't know. That's what I was just, as I try to catch up a little, not understanding what led to such a drastic pull down or sell off or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm like you. I think we're now 4 days from October, and hopefully the it's not alliteration. What would you call October? Nickname?
I mean,
I was gonna say, hopefully the alliteration holds true. It's not an alliteration. What would you call when we call it October? What's the proper word for that?
Oh, the proper word for like a combined word like that? I don't actually know if there is a. I don't know.
We're in trouble. That's the stuff I lean on you for is proper English.
Yeah, I don't know I'm actually not sure what it's called.
Well, regardless, hopefully October holds this year, and October is everything that we've been promised from the crypto gods. And I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm going to go full risk on. When is the question? Like, do I try to get in ahead of October? Do I wait to get my priors confirmed in October? There's almost zero chance I don't go more risk on before the end of October. The question is it today or next week, or do I get confirmation first? But I think fourth quarter is going to be glorious. I'm also a perma bull and an optimist at heart, and I don't really enjoy shorting or betting unders, and so there's just too much positive stuff happening in this industry for this sell-off to continue. That's how I feel. I'm like, I'm not phased. I don't think the cycle's over. I don't think we're going to zero. I think it is just I don't want to say a normal pullback because it is a little extreme, but I will say this, maybe absolutely best time to check out for a week. And when they talk about like touching grass or sand or whatever you want, like it is impactful, right? Like because I come back now, like would have I been fine? Sure. Like I would have kept doing my thing. But now it's like, I feel like when they say like batteries recharge, like I am champing at the bit to click some buttons. Like I'm like, I am having an extreme desire to get locked in and make Q4 a great one. Would I wanted to make Q4 a great one without going on vacation for a week? Yeah. But it's like you take a little time away and it just confirms that I'm in the right spot doing what I love to do. And also helps that I have someone that is very supportive in my corner and I enjoy spending time with. And I want to take many more vacations like that. So I need to make some more money, Steve. We need to have a good quarter.
Dude, that is such alpha. I've said before, by the way,
like seriously, we did a charter fishing trip. It was awesome. It was fun. It's fucking expensive. I'd like to do that often. I need more wins.
Yeah. Getting rich. People say money doesn't buy happiness. It sure fucking helps.
Yeah, they're lying. They're lying. They're fucking liars. It does. Money can't. It's not everything. It's not gonna make your world go around. But I've never met a homeless person that was just skipping up and down the street because they were fucking broke. Like it does make the world go around. It allows you. It enables happiness. It doesn't buy happiness, but it absolutely can enable and enhance it.
Yeah, it enables comfort and lets you deal with a whole set of different problems that are more self-related for sure. By the way, shout out to Otis in the chat, and I actually just found this one as well. Portmanteau is what we're looking for. Portmanteau. So a portmanteau is when you combine two words. So it's good that I didn't know this because there was nothing obvious there. I'd never heard this word before. It's called a portmanteau. So the on the end of here, Otis dropped it in the chat.
The more you know. This is the more you know. Brought to you by ENS.
I had asked ChatGPT while we were talking to and found that out. But yeah, portmanteau, which is one I'm going to try to remember.
I'm glad you pronounced it because I would have called it portmantis.
Yeah. Well, the S is actually only there because it's plural, so just ignore that one. It would just be it ends with a U, one of the rare vowel ending words. Not a sometimes Y ending vowel word, but a real vowel ending word. So maybe it's Italian. I don't know. But yeah, no. Portmanteau. Portmanteau Teo and his girlfriend, Leo Kugu. But look, Cap, I'm with you. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you being out, I think it helps in how you don't have to get in your own head and you don't have to sit there and overtrade the market when things are going poorly. And that is something that I think someone says it's portmanteau. Portmanteau.
So we also have Fred is calling also on it. October is portmanteau. So yeah, we got a lot. I got to give our listeners credit, man. We got some sharp cookies out there.
Up portmantober is what we're looking for here. Up portmantober.
Let's just hope it doesn't make us all poor mans.
Yeah. Portmantober would all be another one of those. So portmanteaus. But I bet you, honestly though, if everyone's correcting me on portmanteau, I bet you that if I ask like Grateful Ape or someone with a strong accent from that end up, they're going to say portmanteau. And you know what? I'm not going to correct him because damn it, I'm not ethnocentric, Von Frunten. But no, honestly, this market is hard to trade because it's hard to know what's going on. I close my eyes and I call it dollar cost averaging. For some of the buys I'm making, I'm still doing my Bitcoin buy. I'm still holding a lot of my items spot, although a lot of them are going to work. I still have money on Hype earning. I think Hype will be just fine. I think that we're going to have a real good idea again. While you're out, I think another airdrop got announced. And we'll see what happens with, not for Hype. Why is my brain not functioning this morning? Why I'm trying to say the Hype competitor that CZ is sponsored. I literally said it 5 minutes ago. My brain is off this morning on this Friday. But either way, like, we'll see what happens in the next week. I think Hype is going to be just fine. I'm not super worried about it. Aster, I don't know why I have trouble saying Aster for a second there. It just kind of popped back in my brain. Another Aster airdrop coming in about, I think, 7 to 10 days. So we're going to find out what happens after that. If people sell, if it's, just a liquidity event. I would not be surprised to see a giant liquidity event and see Aster and see Hype kick off again. So Hype, I have Hype, staking, and I'm LPing, which means I'm getting fees on assets that I care about. And hopefully that eventually helps me. It looks really good in a couple of months. The one thing I'll say though, Cap, we don't have a Fed meeting to save us next month. So we're not going to get another rate cut in October. We are going to potentially get one and should get one in November, which is good. But by not having a Fed meeting and a rate cut in October, we're in less. I think
we do. It's end of October, but it's the very end of October. So we skip November. We go October 28th and 29th, and then December 9th and 10th.
Okay, got it.
So it's a little over a month away, but yeah, it's the very end of October is the next meeting.
For some reason, I thought it was beginning of November, but it's end of October. Same. It's sort of like when Spencer says Q5. That's what I'm saying here. It's October. It's end of October, beginning of November. So end of October, we'll put it in there. On a later note, on
PSA 2, I don't know how many people affected. Sending best to our friend Ian, and shout out to Drew for always jumping in and helping out when he can. It looks like Hypervault rug their users. I'm not familiar exactly what it is, but I put a post up top. Unfortunately, I think if you funds there, it doesn't look like much you're able to do about it right now. But just wanted to share that as it. I just saw it and some people going through it. So
yeah, it's I think I had. Do I have Hypervault in my DeFi bookmarks? I don't think I ever played with Hyper. I mean, this is also the other thing that was nice. It's like I pared down. Von Front and I talked about this. I have a small stack of chips. I'm not playing with a 6-figure stack of chips. So I've pared down to like Project X and a couple other things that I'm using my liquidity in. And that's that. Been holding my Solana spot. Turns out a USDC pool would have gotten me more Solana. So I would have been dollar cost averaging in on the way down. But definitely an interesting weekend for sure. Or definitely interesting week while you were out as we got going. But look, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yesterday we talked a lot about, we've been touching on Abstract quite a bit. And I got on the show yesterday, actually, I think it ruffled some feathers in the war room as well as some other places. And I know you were in the war room chiming in on the conversation. I was talking about Abstract and the frustrations I'd had with it as far as like, and look, I'm rooting for them. I like Abstract. It's not coming from a place of hate or a place of not rooting for it. In fact, it got us streaming, it got us excited. And, I had, I think some, there were people being like, oh, it's different than Igloo. It's different than this. And I'm like, look, I think you were with me on this. Luke is the head of Abstract. It's part of Igloo. If a division is not doing well, especially if 2 out of the 3 divisions are not doing well, it matters, right? And I mentioned the contagion effect. I pinned to the top a tweet I threw out yesterday. I didn't know if anyone was going to read it. It was super long. It ended up cooking. I think it's at about 60,000 views right now. Pretty much every team member responded to me. And then all were posting about feedback. So I think I caused a little bit of a kerfuffle. I'm hoping this becomes a catalyst. Again, I'm not taking credit. I think a lot of people have been, surfacing concerns, but it seems yesterday was a waterfall moment where a lot of people were like, yes, I feel all of the things you said. And also, I came at it in a way that wasn't attacking and wasn't intended to attack. It was like, here's a solve that I would put into place and the things that feel like they're missing. Seiger did respond a little defensively because he kind of tried to respond to each one and be like, no, we're good on all this stuff. But overall, I think, I think the general temperature at Abstract is not great. And I think I would like to see some of those changes implemented. It's good to see that they're thinking about it. So rooting for them. But it's one of those things where it's like, this is a problem with a lot of communities that only want to listen to bulls and dismiss anybody who posts against them as a fudder, is that it feels like they are mostly kind of jumping and supporting. By the way, maybe this will get me the elite super mega giga Chad roll that they give out arbitrarily because I'm paying attention, hopefully, or it'll get me the opposite of that. But I just think so many teams in this space you should be hyper focused on community feedback, but like the beautiful part about Web3,
yes men, you can't just focus on the yes men and women. You got to actually take the candid feedback as well.
Yeah, and we have that ability because the people who respond care. In fact, I will I'll see if I can find this sort of like thread that I absolutely loved that we saw from let me see if I can find this one real quick. But I mean, it's just a thing where it's like, it was Cryptodelphia who, actually the person who got me on Ethos early on. But I'm going to share this only because I thought it was like a very good high level synced up. And I think there's a 7 that I got to fill in, but he had 7 points. I want you to look at these and give me opinions. He goes, 7 points he had. They get, because Raj says, like, what do you want to see in abstract chain? Cryptodelphia. Let's talk. If everything is best, nothing is best. Your marketing is more harmful than you think, right? And so, like, there's more that he elaborated on that. Use your own products. It's all this talk about streaming, and I've never seen or at least known about Pudgy or Abstract Stream to announce the latest updates. And by the way, like Raj asked specifically about the marketing, he goes, Abstract Dogs became a meme. Imagine Disney talking about Disney December for months, and then when it came, they went without anything different. The people who go to Disney every year will still book their trips. The people who went because of Disney December, you just
I thought of that whole thread, I thought that was the most like. I don't know if you're on the abstract team. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you could read that and be like, oh yeah, we screwed up on that one. Like it's just like they literally hyped it up. They created the alliteration, the promo, and then did nothing. Like they're literally. I'm not being harsh. Am I right? Like there was literally no activation for Abstract August. Is that correct?
Play arcade launch and that's it. And they were like first of many. So I agree. Like that was a big one. He talked about it and they kind of mentioned, oh, some stuff out of our control. But like, yeah, I mean, it's part of that. But like the point he made that I think is overarching, it's like, and then I want to get to the other points. He goes, let's talk. If everything is best, nothing is best. Your marketing is more harmful than you think. Yep. And I think his point being, it's like, if all you see is like never fade abstract is the best. It's like, okay, well, that's not marketing. That turns into fluff. And at some point you have to deliver on it. Then this one we just talked about, get feedback from people who don't bull post. You're not trying to onboard the people who are already eating up all that you serve. You're trying to appeal to the consumer. They're not currently even considering abstract. 4, embrace DeFi. It opens up new audiences. 5, and again, these are really good. The way he says is ask Luca to be more visible with abstract. If the big dog isn't interested in the chain, why would new folks? Number 6, pay a big name, stream and sponsor some of the morning shows. Shout out Cryptodelphia, by the way, with some giveaways. Otherwise, it's like a shopping mall with a bunch of closed stores. No one is watching. 7, if you're not going to sponsor a morning show, maybe listen to them. They're either not talking about you or they're talking about the problems you're not picking up on. Reason why I really like these, and again, reason why these sort of resonated with me is that, and again, I'm not just saying it because, as pumping our own bags. I love this, and I'll see if I can find this one from Cryptodelphia to pin to the top, only because I thought that response, if you're looking at it, is perfect. Like on my tweet, which I put out there, which again, I won't like read the whole thing because I know it was long. I'll kind of give the high levels on it, but if you missed it yesterday, like I said, it caused again a little bit of a kerfuffle, and I didn't know that anybody was going to again even read it because long things sometimes don't get read. But I guess the point that that he put in, and when he said, like, if you're not going to sponsor morning shows or others, listen to them, having people listening ear to the streets matters. Because I put the point on my number one thing, get honest, implement, and feedback changes. The XP update was long overdue. People have been lamenting about tiers for months. Streamers want followers to get go live notifications. People miss flash badges. I could go on, but the point is don't be insular, seek opportunity. Like, we have been talking for probably months at this point about the fact that the XP update is way too big. I sold all of my Pengu except what I need for the multiplier. I sold my Lil Pudgy because the boost wasn't really helping me or doing much for me. And these are discussions that we've been having. If you're listening to this as a canary in the coal mine, it's an obvious thing for someone who's trying to build a product that has hype and excitement around it. If 2 people who have an audience of 1,000 people every morning, one of them saying, I'm not interested in buying a little Pudgy or a Pudgy right now. The other one, me, who was saying, I was trying to figure out a way to buy a big Pudgy, went to, I'm selling my little Pudgy to go get a mutant, and I'm selling my Pengu. You can listen to that and stop it in its tracks and find ways to get out in front of that sort of stuff. But because there wasn't this sort of ear to the streets type deal, I think that was a problem. And that's what Cryptodelphia was saying. So shout out to him on the responses and paying close attention. And I thought did a really good job. But now the team's asking for feedback. So hopefully we see a turn. It's not too late. It's still early on, but it's not just an abstract thing. It's if you only listen to your bull posters and you dismiss anybody else's funding and you're only saying hype, like we've been talking about the Abstract August thing since before Abstract August. We've been talking about the overhyped stuff since that point. And I just think that the opportunity is there. So I just want to cite it only because we talked about it on this show. And I think that a lot of Web3 companies could do well to pay attention to top Web3 participants who are showing up every day because we're the ones using the product. we are using your product.
Speaking of top Web3 participants, Steve, we have a great flippening this morning. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Go ahead and gas it up.
He's like, I've got it. Like, I've got this sucker bookmarked, and I look at it 24/7. GG's to Steve. Tebow, you got some work to do this weekend. You've been officially flipped by our guy Steve. 7.48% mindshare, 7.47 for Tebow. I'm actually ecstatic that I held on to the 3 spot by being out this week. So I'm coming for you both. You've been put on notice. And the real Alpha, I shared this past week. Just announced, breaking news, starting in 2026, the Ohio State University is going to be opening up not just a course. At first, it's going to be a course. After they've seen this wall chain leaderboard for ApeCoin and Solana or Hyperliquid, they are now creating a full-blown major for InfoFi at the Ohio State University, Steve.
It's funny. At a period of time, there was a time. See, my problem is
I got a joke, but it's in range. It's in range that we, in the next few years, we see things like, whether they're going to call it InfoFi, but InfoFi or mindshare or KOL or shit poster, or like this concept of garnering attention for brands. Yes, marketing, yes, advertising, but I think this specific type of role that we're very familiar with in crypto Twitter, I do think it becomes an actual profession that there'll be majors in colleges in the near future.
So I don't know what Ohio State's course load looks like now. I know that they have had extensive conversations about blockchain usage from some people I know who have had conversations with them. I, at one point, was considering whether professorial is a route I wanted to go because I love teaching, and I think it's something that I've always been good at in general. Like I can break things down very well. The problem with Ohio State is that it's a 2-hour drive for me, and I can't teach in person there on the regular basis, and I don't want to move my family there. We've got sort of routes set out, so I'd have to go elsewhere. But Ohio State is a place I would love to teach a course if they would let me Zoom teach or something to help them sort of talk about blockchain, NFTs, and the world of sort of that whole connected world. I think is a major opportunity. So hoping to do that. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Tebow, by the way, on the leaderboard, at least this weekend. I should open up a bigger lead because I'm going to drop that LP course today. So I probably should save it, but at this point, I just want to show people how to do it. I should probably save it for Monday just in case, because I'm already sitting up top. But it's not about the leaderboard for me. It's cool seeing you, me, and Tebow just shuffling around at the top there because we are talking about it and do care.
Yes, we're biased. Obviously, anyone's saying, "Oh, of course you like it because you're in it." It's the best InfoFi campaign yet, and I don't even think it's particularly close because it's an actual campaign. Like, it's not just noise on the timeline. It's how they've went about doing this is really well done. And I hope a lot of others follow suit because we were due for an evolution in InfoFi. I'll give credit to Spencer and the Moonbirds team for being the first to incorporate proof of, what do they call it? Proof of ownership.
Proof of burp.
Yeah. Like, I just there's a lot of ways to support ecosystems. There's a lot of ways to be a brand ambassador. It's more than just engagement farming on X. And we don't engagement farm. Do I use certain keywords because I know it'll help? Yeah. But it's tactful. It's not every other post is just spamming ApeChain. And I do. I think I want to give credit to that team again because I think it's a really well put together campaign, and more campaigns will benefit all that are participating in InfoFi.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a really well done one. Like you said, connecting all those pieces, giving people a very obvious thing. Hey, you mentioned ApeCoin plus Solana or Hyperliquid. So all those things help you.
And they're doing stuff, right? It's not just, hey, talk about us. Quite literally, almost every day, at least every week, there's something new to actually talk about. Like, the team is shipping constantly. I'm not saying they're doing it because of this campaign, but that's when you want to do an InfoFi campaign. When you have stuff to actually talk about. Don't do I'm not picking on abstract. It's just we were talking about it this morning. But the worst, you don't want to do it. Oh, we're going to do an August, abstract August campaign and launch an InfoFi campaign and not have anything else to talk about. And everyone just keeps spamming abstract August. Like, the ApeCoin team it started with Solana and then Hyperliquid and literally dozens of other dApps in those ecosystems. Like, this is, I haven't looked, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and make an tangentially uneducated guess and say that there might not be another InfoFi campaign right now with a non-major token. I guess most of the InfoFi campaigns are non-major, where there's actually that's already active with so many DeFi protocols that there is, and maybe there is, but the cadence that they've been sending out announcements, like since they kicked off this raid, it maybe has been every day. It seems to me like it's every day they've got a new announcement, a new dApp they partnered with, and it's not just, oh, we launched on Solana, we launched on HyperEVM. They're doing it the right way by partnering with all the leading dApps on those chains when they do it. Like this, I know it may seem like this is obvious. It's clearly not, because most other teams haven't done campaigns like this. Like, it's not, an InfoFi campaign isn't just getting people to talk about your chain or your token or your protocol. You have to give them things to talk about. So when I say this is the best ran campaign, it's not just because of proof of ownership. It's not just because we're on the leaderboards. It's because I enjoy talking. Like, I can talk about something new every day and it not be repetitive. It actually can add value to our audience, because for those that are participating in DeFi, you should be checking this stuff out. Like, if you're in DeFi, you're probably leaving some money on the table if you're not at least paying attention to the opportunities with ApeCoin and all that they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. That's the good part, is that it's like there's certain InfoFi campaigns. Like, one of the reasons I really like Polygon and Katana, for that matter, is that I rank well in those because I can actually organically talk about multiple things a week, because I am fans of them, and it works. There's been InfoFi campaigns that I've seen out there. I'm not going to name names, but I've seen ones where I'm like, man, this is getting kind of spammy, which, by the way, I don't judge anybody. I'm not going to say who. I had a friend of mine in the space at one point say to me when I was like, how do you feel? You know, are people mad? He's like, yeah, I get unfollows from people. He's like, but those people aren't paying me. So whatever. And I get it. Like, it's cool. Like, there's, do your thing. But there are people I've seen and ways that it's like, okay, there are people who I know who have turned into spam bots towards things for InfoFi, and I'm not judging them. It's a hustle. Get your money. But with ApeCoin, I don't have to pretend. With Solana, or with Polygon, I don't have to pretend. With Katana, I don't have to pretend. Those are the ones I rank for pretty well. Jambert asking how I'm doing on Zeet. Well, this week I'm like 9 on Abstract. I think I'm like 90 or 87 in crypto Twitter or something like that. So it's like okay on there. Unfortunately, though, not a big historical volume bump there, because they opened up a Myriad campaign. Every leaderboard you see in the world, my Myriad is like a top 5 Myriad, which I'm not even trying to do. I'm just talking about my bets and things, or my predictions. And I am not even ranked on the Myriad leaderboard. So I probably need to talk about it a little bit more to get myself running on that one, because I definitely talk about Myriad. And like, if you look on like Cookie, like, or other things, they're like I get tagged 4 times a day in these are the top voices of Myriad. I'm like, I've tweeted about Myriad like 6 times.
Yeah, but I think
they didn't do historical volume.
Yeah. That's what I was just double checking. I'm pretty sure it didn't. It just went live on the 24th, so it went live Wednesday, and it's only counting things from during the tournament. So it's a time bound leaderboard. It's only and the pool is 1 billion Myriad points. So I don't. What does that mean? I don't know, but
provocative. I will say, I mean, that is one thing I'd give, and this is not like FUD. This is just like feedback for Pons. I would talk to him about potentially, or maybe I'll send him a DM. Is like, one thing I do like about Wallchain and Kaido is they will like backdate 30 days, 3 months, all time. They will backdate. So it's like when a new leaderboard came up, for example, when the Moonbirds leaderboard came up, which I have not talked about Moonbirds nearly enough since that jumped up, I was like 13. Because they took this historical volume about Moonbirds into account. I'm down to 22 though, which is not great. So I gotta get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Put out a tweet the other day that didn't help me out. But I do think getting that historical volume as a baseline at least is a pretty good thing. I can see the argument for like, hey, it's a tournament, it starts today, everybody get out there and everybody's on the same playing field. But it's also like, I don't know. I've talked about Myriad historically. Feels like that's a good indicator, a signal that I naturally ranked without trying, because there's no leaderboards or nothing to earn, and I get tagged in like these cookie leaderboards. So I do like that about them, that I get that historical jump. I understand the reasoning, but would be nice. But while
we're on the topic real quick, because I got to get it out. I pinned it up top a little bit ago. It's not really a Kaido gripe. I mean, maybe they have some doing with this. It also maybe just traveling recently, it's weighing a little heavier, and I'm not pleased with our
Oh, the United States stuff, huh?
Yeah, man, it's just frustrating. Like, I don't want this consumer protection. Like, let me opt out. I can qualify, I can invest in other things, but when I go to try to get in this limitless round, not because I'm like a limitless bull, I'm just insanely bullish on prediction markets, and I had a chance to get in at a $75 million valuation. I think it probably opens higher than that. How much? I don't know. I'm not expecting a 10x, but I did try to get in and got all my KYC stuff done. This limitless round, it's got 9 days to go. Is that right? It's only been open for like 24 hours. So it must have a 10-day raise. Their target raise was $1 million, already 24x oversubscribed at a $75 million valuation. Vesting is 50% unlock at TGE, 50% unlock at TGE plus 6 months. I'm guessing this vesting schedule is why we're not able to participate, because in the US, my understanding of the law is if we're in a round like this, it has to vest for 12 months for it to be quote unquote satisfy whatever regulations or non-regulations or whatever. Anyways, open to the EU and all other jurisdictions permitted under our terms of service, except for the US. And, so I go through, get the, not open to participate in your region. Again, doesn't matter if you take the trip to Bahamas or not, because it's full KYC. So it goes off your home address and your driver's license. It's just whatever. Like, I was only going to throw $500 at it. So, it opens at 150 million. I 2x that. It's more so just like, it's frustrating that I'm being protected for something I don't want to be protected from. And like this is more risky than trading memes in the trench or something. Anyways, in my rant, that was just,
it feels like the most un-American shit ever, doesn't it? Like that's like talk about like personal freedoms and land of opportunity. And it's like, yeah, except for the fact that like, basically we're gonna not let you invest in things you want to invest in because we know what's better for you. Papa America knows what's better for you, Papa, than us over here at like in our own lives. Like, I get it. There is such thing as consumer protections. I'm not like playing that down, but it does feel like ridiculous that it's like, yeah, no, we're gonna protect you from yourself. Don't worry, like we got this. And I don't know, man, like I struggle with that as well regularly, where I'm like, just let me transact the way I want to transact. Like, don't treat us like we're infants and idiots. Like, let us do our thing. And then from there, if things go awry, it's like you just click a, thing saying, I understand what I'm getting into here. And it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just the geogating in America stuff is getting very old very quickly for me. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I won't rant longer. It was fresh on my mind. It was right before the show. Like, I'm going to go and get in this, and nope, just kidding. Can't do that because I live in the US.
Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. That said, I think probably worthwhile to do. I have a couple things I want to hit on today, but we probably should just go ahead and hit this daily market update.
Let's do it.
All right. Sorry. Used to doing this whole thing now. It's been a whole different world since you left.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeChain, no hype, just gains. Moving on ApeChain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, fence alpha, never miss a beat. ApeChain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, these now what's next. Come on, my head time, bloody body time, the chop talk for one time.
It is time for the daily market update powered by ApeChain, the home of NFTs, the home of Project Raid. Mention Solana, mention Hyperliquid in your tweets and ApeChain, and you will see a boost on that leaderboard. We've had the team on the show a couple times, had them on yesterday. They're crushing it right now. I got a video coming out today. ApeChain has it all, bringing culture, fun, and community to the blockchain. Dive in and see why ApeChain is on top. Cap, show us some red numbers.
Yeah, it's a bloody day. We'll start with majors, get it out of the way, but put earphones on, hide your kids' eyes. We've got Bitcoin down 2% to 109,239. ETH also down 2% to 39.13. I'm not going to talk about the bears who called this happening as we were heading towards 5K. But here we are. XRP down 3% as well to $2.73. Solana down 4% to 193, the biggest loser on the day out of the majors. Doge down 3% to 22, and Cardano has lost its peg in the 80 cents range. It's down to 76 cents. There is a rune that's up today. Billy up 3%. The rest of the memes, Sheeb down 2%, Meme Core flat, Pepe down 2%, Pump down 5%, and has had a big drop here as of late. Pingu, I was notified that that's down bigly as well, 5% on the day. My Abstract Global Wallet quite a bit lower than when I left on vacation. Looking at NFTs, Kaido Genesis NFTs up 19% of the day. What's driving that? Do we see, was there an announcement? Was there some news? Any guesses? Almost up to 1 ETH floor again.
I have not seen anything related to it. So I could not tell you. By the way, Pengu's down about 30% on the week. So is Rekt, though, to be fair. So is Pump. So a lot of things down, but just absolutely tough look at the moment.
Part of, I'm assuming, I think it was the Epic maybe talking about liquidity moving from memes to perps. I would agree. Like, there's just no way around it. When you see $1 billion+ of liquidations in a day, like, not all, but some of those people are going to be a meme. Some of those people are in Rekt. Some of those people are in Pingu. Like, the only way to not get liquidated is you gotta throw more funds in. And if they're already full risk on, they got to sell stuff to prevent their longs from getting liquidated. So I do expect some of that to rotate back once we get a bounce into bottom is in, but I don't know if the bottom is in today. It could bleed out again. So I will say this. This is one thing I don't know if you hit on the show this week. I missed it. I got some of the playbacks and I listened in live for portions of shows, but I didn't catch a full show the entire week. I'll get the rest of these NFTs and then we'll wrap with Crypto Dick Butts. But Mutants down 2% to 1.28. Meebits down 7% to 0.95. Apes basically flat at 9.3. Far World looks like an OpenSea farm. Lil Pudgy's down 4% to 1.12. And Big Pudgy's lost 10 ETH or 9.97, down 1% on the day. Crypto Dick Butts up 6% to 1.38. Where I was going to go, or my question, the one thing that I had a little bit of FOMO this week, or at least it wasn't like real FOMO, but it was like at the top of my list to dive into today when I'm back in the trenches, is this token work strategy. I think there could be something here. There's several more, including Squiggles and a few others that launched today. I should probably pull it up so I can speak more intelligently about it. I think that's probably what's making Crypto Dick Butts pump. That's absolutely what pumped Meebits, and then they pulled back a little bit. Have you been paying attention to this at all?
Honestly, like, I've seen it, but I haven't been really playing it at all, which is probably like a problem. I should be on top of it, but it's one of those things where it's like, I get it. I think it's cool, but it's not necessarily something like, I'm like, I just rather buy the asset and play the other end of that, is sort of the way I'm seeing it, where I'm like, all right, well, if they have one for like Good Vibes Club, or
they do. Everyone coming up.
Exactly. And so I have a Good Vibes Club, and I went out and grabbed, and then, if they have one for, they have one for Moonbirds, but if they include Mythics, I have a few Mythics. So like, I'm playing it kind of on the other side of it, which I know is probably the wrong way, but like, I don't know, like, I don't want to pay attention to like the token and the price and try to like track all that. It's just not my personal journey. But I'm curious, are you interested? Are you going to start buying? Are you getting involved in it? Like, what's your thought process?
Yes. And I don't know exactly how yet, but I do think there's some merit here, and I'll just give you my mostly unresearched thoughts. But TokenWorks is who launched NFT Strategy. The first was the Punk strategy token. Perpetual machine for every NFT collection. Punk Strategy started as an art project, turned into a whole new token meta. It was bound to be forked, and we felt like it could create a way to launch your own while still being permissionless and safe for buyers. We also wanted to make sure that each one strengthened Punkster, so we gave some value back to project creators, artists that have slowly been cut out of royalties. How it works: every ERC 721 NFT collection can have a single NFT strategy token deployed for it 1-to-1. Fees pull up from trades, buy NFTs from that collection, relist them at 1.2x. When the NFT sells, all the ETH used to buy and burn that NFT strategy token, and this continues forever. The fees are split between Punkster and the NFT accumulation pool, as well as TokenWorks supporters and the TokenWorks team. And The other ones have a slightly different structure. You can see here the 3 launch phases. First, there was 5 NFT strategy tokens that were launched on day 1. This was Apes, Pudgies, Crypto Dick Butts, Moonbirds, and Meebits. And then today they're opening up 7 others and more to come. Each token will launch starting at a market cap of 50K, with all the tokens added to the initial LP. For public launches, the deployer will also get 1% of the token included in the deploy fee. And to your snipers, buy fees will start at 95% and decrease by 1% each minute, eventually resting at 10%. So the buy fees are very real there. Like those fees will add up. So if you're trading this, you got to make sure you're calculating the tax in well. This is also a big deal. Also newsworthy. The SEC reached out to over 200 digital asset treasuries with concerns of insider trading of treasury vehicles pre-announcement, with a deeper investigation coming soon. This is all on chain, so theoretically, no insider trading there. And here you can see their vault for the punks they've already acquired. Here's the ones that start this Friday. It's Goblins, Good Vibes Club, Squiggles. I think Squiggles is the one today. Miladies. Which ones am I missing here that are flashing? Can you see?
Look like I saw a X copy in there, maybe.
Yeah. Or a Grimplin.
It's just you pause. It just says Monday. I'm like, it says Monday. Yeah, a little Gremplin. Good pause there. So I mean, like, look, it's a cool mechanic. Like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm playing the other side of it, especially because I'm doing the OpenSea farm. So I'm hoping I did well early on, and now with this market pullback, I got caught my hand in the cookie jar. Because one of the things I was doing is that I would like buy a Moonbird or a mythic, and then I would list the mythic above floor because they would have a little bit of a cook, and I would make money on my farm and get significantly more points than I would make on the swap fee. Or if I lost a little bit of money, it was okay. It was like sort of blur farming type deal there, but a little bit lighter. So it's my hope that like these things help and come save us a little bit there, because they're going to grab some and then set the price. We'll see. But it's been really good for Meebits. Meebits have been absolutely cooking. Sergito's been going to work. And Smart Dumb Man in the chat saying the insider trading, by the way, would be buying the stock prior to the DAT announcement. So we'll see how much of that happened. Our congressional friends probably know a thing or two when it comes to that. They're great at buying stocks before. I saw Tucker Carlson demanding people who put in put options before September 11th on airlines, which is kind of crazy to hear that is a thing that they're talking about. But who knows? Probably just it could just be a crazy conspiracy theory. But the insider trading goes deep. We've seen stuff like that around COVID that's really questionable. So in fact, there was one senator who I saw was asked a question if they made money on insider trading, and they like froze and short circuited trying to like, I don't know. You'd have to check. I'm not sure what that pertains to. And then they were like, well, did you make $4 million trading at all? They're like, I'd have to talk to, I'm not sure. And it was a crazy short circuit. So be careful out there, kids. But no, I don't know. I'm not playing that strategy. I am just playing the other end of it while I farm my points. Although I've slowed down quite a bit. I haven't had quite as many LP rebalances and things going on. So probably need to get involved there a little bit. Zane hitting us with checks. Max Payne from X Copy, Good Vibes Club, Milady, Squiggles, Crypto Toads, Goblin Town, the whole 9 yards. So
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So it's the lady who's running for New Jersey governor. Dude, our community is so smart. Like, I already forgot what the word is that I need to come up with that ends with toe instead of tau, but I need to get it together and get my and remember that one, because I love a good word that you can drop into. Like, what the best part about learning new words is if you're having a casual conversation with someone IRL who you don't know from this space, and then you just learn a new word and you drop it in as if it's like and sometimes you're well aware I have a decent vocabulary to begin with. But I remember at one point I dropped the term autodidact in a just conversation casually, and people were like, "I'm sorry, what?" So like you can do those things. So I got to figure out the correct pronunciation for portmanteau. I have at the moment with the markets, my feet have a poor man's toe on it. So portmanteau. I'll try to remember it that way. But portmanteau. So nice. But you could do that. You could be like doing something and being like making a joke about like it and be like, yeah, with the whole Brexit, that was a good portmanteau, and just keep going casually as if we didn't just drop a ridiculous word. So work that one into the conversation. But
I did. Well, yeah, I did. We wrapped up daily market update, but I just had the tab up, and I saw someone mentioning like, oh, ApeCoin down to 50 cents. Like, yeah, but it's like relative to the rest of the market, performed pretty well over the past week, down 15% instead of 30 plus. And I think it seemingly has found support at 50 cents. Like every time it hits, it bounces pretty hard, or at least bounces a little bit. So I don't know. I think floor might be, we might have found floor, and I think could bode well for October, and ApeFest hitting at the end of October. So we'll see. I did have. I'm all thrown off here because I tried to go to OpenSea and I can't. Apparently, they don't like people in Germany accessing OpenSea.
Yeah, don't change that. You'll get kicked off the stream. Although you could, if you monkey around, it might kick you off the stream. Yeah. But I'm running it this morning, so you could play around, I guess, if you want.
That's new. Apparently, they got a VPN blocker on OpenSea now.
Oh, I had not. I had not seen, so I'm not familiar with their game as far as their VPN blocker goes. So I do not know. I am not a.
Yeah, it's BOGO on ApeCoin today. You can get 2 entry passes to the club for $1.
Speaking of access passes, I minted my my open page as a early user and supporter. They had that list up. More than happy to support them with that purchase the way they supported us, and looking forward to seeing.
I missed this. Can you I missed this entirely this week. Can you give me what's the is it still live or no?
It's oh, by the way, Von Frunton, by the way, correcting me and says, please don't say portmanteau, it's portmanteau. We're trying to have a society here. It is so I'll pull it up actually, because it is it is on there. I'm trying to pull that up. But I minted it this morning. Actually, I think I retweeted it, so it might be easier. I'd seen it pop up yesterday, but it's a relatively vague announcement, but I'm more than happy to mint because I think it's a really good platform, and it's kind of like a great way. I think all creators should be using this. Should be using OpenPage. It may get us like a premium subscription. I don't know what it gets us. I'm not going to say anything, but it says the OP Pass pre-sale has begun. The OP Pass is your key to the ecosystem, unlocking collectibles, priority access, recognition, and evolving perks as the platform grows. This round is reserved for early believers, OpenPage creators, or OpenPage ambassadors, OpenPage partners, OG badge holders, claim 3+ OSFM badges, other side FM badges, Icy ApeChain holders, claim 10+ badges in the past 90 days. Gates will open wider soon. So if you have done that on this show, you can mint. Again, I don't know what it is. I'm not telling you to mint one way or the other. I minted. It was a no-brainer for me because I support this team. And honestly, the amount of concierge support they've given us on this show and the help they've given us in creating that and helping us with our draw and everything else that we're going to be doing in the show 1000, no-brainer for me just just to help. Riz Brian, by the way, I mean, we are having fun with words this morning. He goes, did somebody say portmanteau? A little pimento cheese sandwich there. A little Masters action, of course. No surprise. Riz Brian going Masters style. Ryder Cup this weekend, too. Excited for that. Banger sports weekend with baseball coming to a close for the season. Heavy.
Cal Raleigh, 60 home runs. That's from a catcher. That's notable.
The big dumper, man. Best nickname ever.
MLB has a marketing problem.
Yeah, the big dumper should be everywhere. But the thing is, MLB decides who they like based on certain things. Like Aaron Judge had the stupidest celebration for it's the home run record. We're like, we all know it's not the home record. It's like in the AL. It's like, yes, the coveted most home runs in the AL. We always talk about every single year. Meanwhile, we got a guy named the Big Dumper who won the home run derby, who everybody loves, who people just the guy said he was on an interview, by the way. The reporter kind of laughed and just said, what are you going to do about it? He's on the stadium interview, which they have on TV. And they go, how do you feel? Another home run, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't know. Maybe we just need to fuck around and win the whole fucking thing. On it. It's just, who doesn't like this guy? Like him, Shohei. I mean, I don't know about the betting stuff, but you need to they don't market their people. The Big Dumper has appeal to everybody. So I don't know. I hope he breaks Aaron Judge's record, AL home run record. Fucking who cares? But we got that. We got a great college football weekend. We got some good NFL games. College football weekend's electric. I will be on my couch on my cheat day, which is Saturday.
Oh shit! You just reminded me. I need to return on my college football automated strategy on Billy Betts. I'd turned that one off. I just need to toggle it back on. Sorry. Continue.
Actually, speaking of prediction markets, we're going to actually hit more, and then on the other end of that, we're going to hit a couple things, including I'm going to try to get you to buy something potentially on the show. We shall see, and kind of show you something that maybe you missed while you were out that might be interesting to purchase. But we're going to do more, first.
The more you know, brought to you by ENS.
It's time for the more you know, brought to you by ENS, which, by the way, potentially maybe over next month. We don't know. So tag our friends at ENS. Tell them how much you love hearing about ENS on Coffee with Captain. Go and get an ENS. Say that you got one because of Coffee with Captain. Let them know because we are reaching out to them about potentially doing that all over again. But the more you know, brought to you by our friends over at ENS. And look, we're going to talk prediction markets. In 2025, prediction markets aren't just riding post-election tailwinds. They're growing deeper. Polymarket already processed $7.5 billion plus in trading volume year to date. July alone, it hit $1 billion in monthly volume. But don't sleep on Kalshi. Kalshi is pulling ahead in volume dominance during the week of September 11th to 17th. Kalshi captured 62% of on-chain prediction markets volume, generating over 500 million in weekly trades, maintaining open interest around 189 million. Another week, it did 728 million in bets, eclipsing Polymarket and leaning heavily into the sports markets, which now represents 70% of its overall volume. On the investment side, Kalshi pulled in a fundraising round, valuing it at $2 billion, and regulators are loosening up Polymarket's acquisition of CFTC license QCEX. $112 million deal is paving its re-entry into the U.S. markets. Bottom line, in 2025, volumes are stabilizing and well into the above the pre-2024 levels. Competition is consolidating. Sports the new battleground, and the regulatory legitimacy is shifting in favor of prediction markets as real financial infrastructure, not just niche experiments. And that was the More You Know, brought to you by ENS. ENS does more than you know, not just anchor your name across Web3, but anchoring across the internet. It's your identity, simple, memorable, and unmistakably yours. Learn more at ens.domains to secure your ENS domain today. And again, tag them, add them, let them know how much you love the segment on Coffee with Captain. Sing them the song, give them a heads up because we love our friends over at ENS and hoping to continue to do that. It's hard to believe it's been a year it's been a year and 3 months since our first sponsor with ENS. And
longer than that, isn't it?
Well, 3 months on the front end. And then after the 3 months, we signed a year deal. So it's been about a year and 3 months.
Well, I think we did 6 months on the first go.
I think it was 3, but I can't remember. I'll have to check back. So maybe it was 6 months. But good stuff, Cap. That said, I don't know.
Do you know how long that pre-sale goes?
I do not. I do
Probably
not. But I think it's for a little bit. I do not, but I just went and grabbed mine this morning just because I was like, look, again, these guys have been so helpful in everything we've done, and more than happy to be part of that journey. It's an NFT. I'm proud to have my wallet, so excited for that.
Yeah, same.
Cap, I want to ask your so Moonbirds obviously having a moment. I'm wondering.
Hold that thought before we move on, just because I want to close the thought. I did pin up some alpha from I Can't Trade. Just did some deep dives, some nice threads on Punk strategy. So if you want to read more on that, there's some good starting points. Why I want to explore it more, why I'm bullish. Like the thing that jumps out to me more so than the tokens and than buying the NFTs is the NFTs that these funds will be buying. And it's going to take a while for it to play out, right? Because there's a few hundred of them. But what Blur Farming created was this bucket of floor NFTs that just keep getting recycled. They're just getting bought to flip and farm, and they're not NFTs on the floor that anyone's actually buying to hold and collect. They just continue to trade hands. Like some of the on-chain history is wild on some of these NFTs that were blur farmed to oblivion. This token works, this NFT strategy, essentially, again, over a long enough timeline. And now, yes, they will sell them as the number goes, it hits 1.2x the floor. But if the flywheel continues, they're effectively taking a lot of these blur farmed NFTs, the floor NFTs that I don't want to say no one wants, but they just continually get resold and recycled. They're taking them out of circulation. So when we talk about if we do get an actual NFT season, if people actually come in and want to buy these things, there's some utility that gets unlocked, there's some announcement, or digital identity becomes a thing again. It could really aid to a supply shock scenario for some of these collections. I don't think it's going to be for all of them, but just conceptually at the highest level, the thought of almost having the reverse impact that blur farming had of pulling those out of the market, reducing supply, at least temporarily. And then when they're going to list it for 1.2x, it doesn't mean it sells, but what they're not doing is they're not selling these things into WETH bids. I need to put more thought to how I explain that, but does that check? Does that hit at all with you? Is it coming across where my brain went when I first, I had kind of an aha moment that, oh, this is like the inverse of blur farming and people just buying things to then later sell into a WETH bid.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And by the way,
I mean, it's simple. It's like in blur farming, the farmers were buying NFTs to sell for a 10 to 20% loss into bids. Here, they're buying an NFT to hold and not going to sell it until it sells for 20% more than they bought it.
Yeah, it's a reverse to the model. That's a good point. And by the way, I Can't Trade has had some really good threads. If you read through them, definitely worth checking out the profile there. I agree.
Sorry to derail you.
No, not at all. I mean, it's a good point. And it's a good thought that I hadn't thought about how they're sort of trying to create that new floor off the market or taking those floors off the market, and they can make it work. So yeah, man, it's very interesting. And again, sort of the opposite, the antithesis. And I hadn't really thought about that angle of it before. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many of these get created and how many of them are sustainable. And does it? It's not going to work for everything, but that's not the point. The point isn't that it is like good or bad. It just is. Like, some of them will be good, some of them will be bad. But yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of follow. So no, I think it's actually a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know if you mentioned your other pass, by the way. I'll talk to the team. Mine did not show up. I don't see mine in my wallet. So I wonder if it's distribution afterwards or something. Cool concept, because I definitely minted. So I will I'll look at mine so far and see how I'm doing on that. But definitely love that team at OpenPage. I think they're building something pretty cool, and my easy mint for them without beyond the shadow of a doubt. I'm glad that I got into the pre-sale. Speaking of stuff, so I did get you to buy an OpenPass today. Want to get you to buy a potentially not buy, but I don't know if you saw this. The Moonbirds mystery, I don't know what collectible, released I don't know when, and we'll find out what it is at some point. That collectible is pretty close to mint price. It was about $5 above mint price when I saw it recently. Our guy Zane pointed it out to me. So I went on and I swept 6 of the individuals. I mentioned I have a full pack, the 12er. I minted 6 individuals of them because they were low. So I know you mentioned you wish you had potentially gotten the game for more. You can get into them, and if you buy 6 of them, it's about a $30 upcharge. So it's basically like getting 6 for the price of 7 at the regular sale. I don't know. Like it was like $30 for one, or for the floor ones, and the pre-sale was $25. So again, I got 6 of them. It's basically like I got a 7th that I paid for, but got 6. So don't know if you're interested, because I know you would want to get out more, but we haven't heard much about that. Obviously, we're going to hear more about it in I don't know when it drops at some point. But I was interested. It's provocative. I like a physical collectible, because there's a world where I sell my box, I sell 4 of my individuals, and I just keep 2 individuals here or there and make it work. But pique your interest?
Yeah, good looking. Because I have the 12 pack and I did want to get some individuals. So just not knowing when I'll want to exit, I definitely don't want to just sell the whole 12 pack. And if we see another run up, I will. I'd sell the individuals into that most likely. Or I keep a couple of the individuals and sell the 12 pack if it really runs. But yeah, I do think that, same thing with, we talk about the rotation from memes to perps. It's across the board. It's NFTs. It's, if you've got, pick a number. It doesn't matter if it's $1,000, $10,000, $1 million. Whatever you've got in open on a long. If things crash, you're not going to get wiped out. You gotta re-up. You gotta redeposit, and they don't have stables on the sideline. That likely leads to selling other things off and rotating into that. And so sometimes it's attention is fleeting, and there's a new shiny toy today until they swing back and they make the next out. Other times it's liquidity is fleeting, and sometimes it's forced. And without, again, being being out this week, that's my read on a lot of these dips and sell-offs. Yeah, market's down, but the memes and like everything further down the risk curve, a lot of that, maybe it wasn't all. I'm certainly wasn't all, but at least some of the sell-offs were likely people rotating into their perp balance so they don't get wiped out.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, like speaking of being stabled, like this is one of the reasons I do DeFi now. And one of the reasons I was interested is because in any up and down market conditions, I can feel pretty good about it. Like I've never felt more comfy in my strategy in my life, which is crazy. Like I've never, and look, we're good at like not taking things too harshly when the market's up or down. Like we get very excited when it's bullish, but we don't take it too hard when it goes down. Obviously strategies help you balance things. I've got some stables that I have. I think I have some USDF on flow that I'm probably going to pull off, which is like, it's stable sitting on flow. It's been earning in a yield vault. So it's been sitting there at the obviously mark of $1 over there. In some more markets vaults, I'm probably going to pull those, or there's a good chance I pull those because I now can grab those and deploy those, whether I deploy them in, I can deploy them on chain anyway. If I want to go to ETH, if I want to go to Solana, like there's a lot of places to put those to work. So, it's probably my next move is probably going to be to take my USDF off flow, which right now, it's been sitting there earning yield. It's made about $20 earning yield, which it would have been in a stable anyway, earning nothing. So that's a little bit of extra money. And it's definitely an opportunity to make it work a little bit more for me. My flow vault is getting absolutely murdered though, because not only is flow down, but it looks like the vault's not doing quite as well. So probably gonna go ahead and leave that sucker in there and hope, cross my fingers for recovery, because I've definitely gotten absolutely slaughtered on that one. But yeah, man, it's market's down. You do your thing. You figure out where you're deploying some stables. You make it work for you. So, we're here on up days. We're here on down days. We make it work regardless. Speaking of burbs, do you think Spencer? I gotta pull this tweet, and maybe it's just like, hey, if you're gonna be here, show up type thing. Because I think Spencer is getting this. I'm gonna make maybe a little bit of a hot take. I love the Burbs. I love Spencer. He's been doing a great job. They've been doing the biz dev. Spencer is getting pretty hypey about a lot of stuff, which I like. I like that he's excited about it. But this latest one, let me find it. It goes, Burbs are looking strong, blah, blah, blah. Like he's got a lot of stuff. But I'm trying to find the specific tweet because he said something along the lines of, I will find it. Here you go. So Burb Hala is going to be in Singapore. Okay. Enter Burb Hala Moonbird event and sponsored by Solana. Sponsored by Solana. Enter Burb Hala, a Moonbird event sponsored by Solana. Spencer said, if you're going to be in Singapore for token, this is the #1 don't miss event. Do you think we're getting a token announcement?
Yeah. Yep. It might be a checkered wallet thing. I don't know. Like that's pretty big. A lot of stuff going on in Singapore at Token 2049. So it's a bold statement.
That's what I'm saying though. But if there is not, and by the way, Dwayne said the OP pass is a pre-sale. We'll receive once spins closes. Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate that. And he said, speaking of other page, when do we the full set badge giveaway draw plan? We're gonna plan it on show 1000. We might do the drawing and record it beforehand, just because, that way if like me or Cap or my wife or someone else wins, we can kind of like run through that. But we will be doing that with some other stuff on show 1000. We're going to talk about what we can spin together in about a week for that. So I think that's next Thursday. But
if anyone else wants to add to the pot and juice up our show 1000, you've got a giveaway. If you're anything, not asking individuals to give us stuff, but if you're a brand out there or you would like to get us some shout outs on our show 1000, it won't be as much as the open page and ApeCo team, because they're the ones that did the main campaign. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun next Thursday. Hit us up if you want to add to the pot.
I'll hit up Beezy because we should see if we can get a couple Beezy claw pulls. No pressure to our friends at Beezy. Maybe we get 3, 4, 5 of those if we can. See if they're up for that. We should be doing. We will have another partner starting Monday. I sent him a message in Telegram just because with everything going on this week, didn't get it started. But next week, and they were actually busy over in Korea Blockchain Week. But for those who are listening now, Death Fun, we're going to be doing some stuff with next week. So there's going to be some opportunities to win there. So I think it just needs to turn into fucking Oprah extravaganza type thing where we can do some fun stuff and get our loyals involved with all sorts of stuff. And I'll reach out to Beezy and see about some claw polls and how that goes. But yeah, Cap, I mean, I am if Spencer doesn't announce a token at an event co-sponsored by Solana, and he's been pretty hype, man, do you think it's a sort of pump the brakes moment for him? Because I think he's been doing a great job, but I am noticing a lot of pump, a lot of hype. I think he should be excited. I think he should be hyping it. But when a token is being teased, he did the collect the I don't know what, that's I don't know when in a 24-hour pre-sale in Q5. At some point, we'll tell you what it is. I love it. I'm in for it. I bought more of them. I'm doing it. But that playbook can only go to the well so many times. I think it's got to be, there has to be something big at this Solana and Ape. I think it should be token, but there's got to be something, because if there's not, it's you can only go to the well so many times. I don't think it's the case. I'm not saying it's there yet. I'm just putting it on. It's sort of like when you put a team on, pardon my take the sports podcast I listen to, when their teams are losing in football, they're like, where are you at with the panic button? And they're like, the panic button is open, but I'm not pressing it yet. I'm looking at the panic button. It's just, and it's not panic button, but we're not there yet, but we're a little bit on. This is when the coach says, this is like a coach that's, you
don't want to get there, right? You don't want to get to that point where you don't want to get to the point where I really, truly am trying to think of another example. So please.
You don't want a players only meeting. You don't want the coach having a players only meeting with the community. You don't want the coach starting to say, I'm taking over play calling duties, like all the other things. The coach saying, I'm not worried about. You don't want the owner coming out and saying that my coach's job is safe. You don't want the coach coming out and saying Russell Wilson is our quarterback. All of those things, those little indicators when you're that is the first indicator that things are going wrong. There's sort of these telegraph things. They're doing great. I love Burbs. I'm not fighting Burbs. I'm not saying it. There's been a lot of hype and it's felt really good. This is the one where I'm there's got to be something at that when you're this is the absolutely number one, don't want to miss event. If you're going to be there, it's it can't just be because it's Burbs and it's a party. You want something there. So that's
part of it's not just them. I think it's the space at large, right? It's it's the collective overhyping or announcements of announcements. And so I think founders here need to be, or, leaders, CEOs, whatever you want to call them, need to be even more cognizant of that you can't just be a perpetual hype machine. You have to ship something. If you're going to hype something up, you got to land it. And again, my pastel friends out there, please don't take offense to this. It's just the example that pops in my brain, because I believe now, I think for over a year, we've been told about the biggest announcement ever coming from Doodles, and they've had 3 or 4 other announcements in that.
I forgot about that. The partnership, right?
What is it? Who is it? You've lost me as a, I don't care. I don't know the right word. What's synonymous with I don't care? I'm just apathetic to Doodles because they've just strung it out so long. I hope it's a big announcement, but I really don't know, and I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where at what point do you get to the point where it's because your point about the Doodles one, to give an example, and again, no shade, my Doodles friends, I actually have been feeling myself more excited about Doodles again. Now there has been less hype. I'm man, maybe I actually want to be a net buyer here and get back in because I love the art and I like the community and things. But I think part of the problem I run into with Doodles is that that thing where it's every time it's the next big announcement, they're Twix or something. And I'm okay. And then they're but Red Bull thing, but this isn't the big one. It's There's been like 4 announcements of partnerships since this is not the big partnership.
Then don't take the big announcement until you're ready. Like we got a lot of announcements coming up. Like words matter, especially here where people are looking for alpha. They're looking to front run the next big thing. And if I'm not saying it's false advertising. I'm not saying you rug them. Please don't take this out of context. It's just, you just can't keep doing that forever. You can't string it out so long. There was some comments on the abstract thing. Like if everything is the biggest thing ever, then nothing is big.
Yeah. I mean, it's just absolutely factual, right? It's like the fact of the matter is, sorry, I saw a doodle that was sold maybe recently, and I was like, I thought it was somebody who I knew, but it wasn't. So I was like, I thought it was like a team member, and I was like, ooh, that's concerning, but it's not. It's just a very similar one. Because I was pulling up the doodles for. To your point, like if everything's the biggest thing ever, it's not. And that was the point they were making, where it's like you have this like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what's going to happen. But it's like, to your point, like marketing strategy is you don't tease the biggest announcement that's going to happen in the biggest partnership in Web3, which by the way, they did McDonald's last year. So it would have to be bigger than McDonald's. You don't tease that unless it's like a few weeks before it goes out, because you don't want to have that holding on. And like, you don't need your holders constantly saying like, shout out to some of our friends who are, Doodles friends in the chat. It's like, they have to say to me every time, I'm like, wait, so like Snickers or whoever it was the big announcement. They're like, no, it's bigger than that. And I'm like, wait, so Red Bull doing the Flumtog thing or whatever it is was the big announcement? No, not that one. And I think, oh, hey, hi, Web3 Karina. Web3 Karina saw the post, jumped over here. Appreciate you. I just think like you need to be careful as a founder not to overhype. And again, to your point on the abstract thing, it's like, if everything's the most awesome, again, Cryptodelphia, shout out to Cryptodelphia on that point. If everything's the biggest thing ever, nothing's the biggest thing ever. And you need to be careful about that stuff. So, Cap, another thing I want to give a quick shout out on before we move on to whatever else we have here, is I do want to give a shout out. This is my crypto name in the chat.
Dude, I got I said the same tab. Hold up. Go ahead. You take it. There's one thing when you get to one more thing, I was going to hit this same thing as well. So go for it.
Yeah, absolutely thrilled to be from. This is my crypto name. Regular, always in the chat, always out there doing work. Artist, and absolutely thrilled to be part of the 5th annual Art Blocks weekend. Looking forward to so many here that have provided a ton of inspiration for the Pixel Mix NFT. If you're looking there over the years, hope to see you there. Stay tuned about Marfa specific activation. So out there, I mean, names like Jack Butcher are out there, and a ton of people. Like this is the art person, Snowfro, and there you see it right there.
Who do you think the fuzzied out one is? Who's the other headliner? Beeple, Jack Butcher.
Oh,
I don't know. Huh?
Great question. I don't know.
I mean, the other one that comes to mind would be like Xcopy, who's Anon. Like, could we potentially be getting a docs at Marfa?
If you just show up and they're not there, but there's a Pranksy or a Banksy, just spray painted on the side. Look at some of these. Oh, our guy Aaron's there.
Oh,
Dr.
awesome.
Dr. Aaron, Pigeon Professor Extraordinaire. A lot of good folks over there. So I mean, like, look, Marfa's a big fucking deal, man. Like this is like I always have wanted to go because I've always thought it would be a cool like art-based thing, and I don't know, man. It's just I am real. So again, this is my crypto name. Shout out and congratulations on that. It's a very cool thing to see, and just sharing that and being part of that digital community. I would be remiss if I didn't give a good shout out to somebody who is we love seeing our folks. I gave it a like and a retweet. I'll pin it to the top here in a second. If we didn't celebrate some of the amazing community members. I am really proud of our community, how smart they are, how helpful they are, and how successful they are. It's really cool to see. So
love it. Big congrats. I've got one other tab. That was the next one I was going to go to. So we are, even if I take a week off, Steve, we're pretty lockstep, dialed in, and finishing each other's sentences still. So good to see you.
Yeah, good to see. And that was kind of like, honestly, like that's kind of my list for the day as I went through it. Because I mean, I mentioned the Moonbirds sale. It's a big one. I mentioned that those boxes are down. So I picked up 6 of them. We mentioned the abstract kerfuffle I caused, which wasn't meant to be more. It was more just meant to be like, hey, team, check this out. Obviously, there's something there. Mark talked about that.
I know Jambert's hitting the road. Just want to wish him a happy birthday if you missed it over in the abstract chat. Jambert's selling a big birthday this weekend. He's going to head down to Columbus for a Buckeyes victory. Just have fun, be safe, and go Bucks.
Yeah, go Bucks. Playing out in Washington. I actually considered. Yeah,
I did not know that. So he's just heading down to Columbus to enjoy the weekend.
to celebrate it. Yeah, I considered actually FOMOing a trip because I love Seattle. If it wasn't a West Coast crazy trip type deal, because I've been in Husky Stadium once. When we beat them, I lived out there. It was when Jake Locker was the quarterback for the Huskies. Brandon Sane had a garbage time touchdown to make it look better than it was. Ohio State played quite well that year. I got really good seats and really enjoyed the game, and friendly fans, beautiful stadium. It gets really loud though. And Washington not being a top 25 team. Look, everybody knows in the college football game, Washington not being a top 25 football team is borderline criminal. They have played incredibly well. They have good play at the quarterback position, and we'll see what Ohio State does to them. But it's only about a touchdown spread for a good reason. When Ohio State put up 70 on Grambling the other week. By the way, like in my NCAA game playing on the highest level, I played a terrible school and I put up like 63. So 70 in a real game is crazy. So it'll be interesting to see how Ohio State plays this one out. But Washington is no joke. So looking forward to that, as well as the full weekend of college football. Georgia, Alabama, Illinois, USC. It is a tasty, tasty weekend in college football, Cap.
Looking forward to it. I did get my Billy auto betting strategy reactivated for college football, so I'll be in the trenches with you there. Of note as well, I did get OpenSea to work, so it must just been a one-off. Apparently, you can still access it with a VPN. I delisted an NFT that I had listed this morning, Steve, tying it all back to this NFT strategy. The Squiggle strategy goes live today at 11, by the way. That's not what I delisted because I don't own a Squiggle, but I do have a couple of Good Vibes clubs, and I had one listed and just delisted it. Did not sell. It was listed slightly above the current floor. I listed it when the floor was might have been sub 0.3. While everything is bled out this past week, I don't know if you've noticed, but that Good Vibes floor, I mean, there were sales. There was sales at 0.29, some WETH sales just 4 days ago. Earlier this week, 0.29 sales. It did run up all the way to 0.54. Currently sitting at like 0.42. But in a week where everything is bled out, tremendous run up for Good Vibes Club. And maybe it's just strategy related. Maybe there's something else there. But when you talk about supply shock and pulling some off the floors, I think it's a pretty strong community. That's one that, again, I delisted because I would not be surprised. I had it listed at like 0.569 maybe. And I would not be surprised if we see this being one that's well received. I also, maybe not, no pressure on the team, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them lean in and actively work with strategy, kind of like how Sergito is with Meebit. So yeah, just wanted to give them some love as well. I know we got a lot of Good Vibes Club fans out there, and anytime you see sell-offs in the market and something is inverse of that, it's noteworthy. So I'm not saying it's just NFT strategy driven, but you love to see it.
Yeah, I will say this. You want to talk about a bag fumble, which I need to figure out if I'm going to make a play on right now. Speaking of which, you talk about that because I did see the Good Vibes Club. I bought and sold a couple just on the OpenSea journey as it was kind of catching some momentum. Classic Blur feeling because the creator royalties are baked in, meaning that you have to make a little bit more money on those, but happy to send money to those guys. They are good. There's an art blocks I minted a while ago, Cap, called Contrast Agents. And there was an offer in, which is still in, which I might have to accept, called for this Contrast Agents thing. And I just saw the offer. I didn't list it, whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care, whatever. The person who was making the offer bought one for almost 3 ETH. They're collecting it looks like when I look at their profile, a full art blocks collection. So I listed mine below that now. But if I had listed that thing for 2 ETH, 2.5 ETH, this person probably would have bought it. Now, there is still a decent offer in right now, but it's for,
What'd you mint it for?
What's that?
What'd you mint it for?
I don't know, like 0.1 or something. It's like, yeah, I mean, it was classic.
Years ago and it held, and it's now become a collector's item?
Yeah, 3 years ago for 0.15. I don't think it's a collector's item. I think this person is trying to collect all art blocks, like one of everything in that first 500 or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
There's still an offer that I think I can accept, which would still be like 0.32 ETH. But if I had just listed this thing for an ETH, it would have been sold. 2 ETH would have been sold. I could have gotten a mutant for this thing. And again, I like this contrast agent a lot. So I minted it because it's one that I thought had a really cool story behind it. It was a cool piece of art. It's like a movement. I'll show you. It's like a really cool piece of like art with some movement to it. And it was,
pretty cool though.
Right. Difficult to create, but like I have it listed now. I'm hoping that this person wants two. It is more rare than the one they bought. And it is listed below what they bought the other one for. Not counting on it. Oh, by the way, Connor Stout in the chat is correct on the big Vibes Clubs. It was the Warner effect. I did see that Warner swept like 10 of them or something, and was really excited. So it exists out there. But no, man, I down horrendously because I literally could have made $10,000 on this thing if I just listed. It just goes to show always be listing. If you're feeling something, you never know who's going to come in and buy. But somebody listed it for that much, and it's like I literally could have just listed. Like I saw when the person made the offer that the floor was 2.8 something. And I'm like, oh, it's just someone listing like crazy. Why did I not list for 2.75 then? I would be eating right now. So, just good lesson learned there. I should probably just accept the offer and accept that they're not going to do it. What happens is the offer's good for 6 months. So the person put it out there and probably forgot about it. So I could probably do that.
Or someone else accepts it. It's probably
right.
collection.
Right, exactly. Because somebody else could accept it. In fact, somebody listening may have one of these and accept it before me. But it's like, on the other hand, it's a $9,000 fumble if I accept the offer and he does buy another one or she buys another one for their collection. So, like, I don't know. What do you do if you're me, Cap? Do you just accept that offer and let it sail, or do you let this thing ride a little longer? It's been listed for a few days.
I'd probably like manually Dutch auction it. I'd probably take it down to 2.5 after the show. And then if it does sell tomorrow, I'd probably drop it to 2. I'd just probably manually Dutch auction it.
That's a good call. Like basically give myself a point of like every day or so or 2 days, like see if someone's interested in it because you update the price. If they are interested, great. If they don't, then
yeah, you get down to 0.5 and it's still no buyers, then maybe accept it. If that offer, the WETH offer's still there, maybe accept it.
Right. That's what you do. And then if I keep it, I keep it. I bought it because I wanted to collect it. So I'm not going to be upset. Honestly, this like all things joking aside, like I'm comfortable if I'm just sitting with this thing in my wallet. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. I'll send it back to my vault where it was because it's art that I wanted to keep. I've made conscious decisions on things, but it's definitely a tempting play to go out there and hit that. But
but it's like you buy art to keep, you buy art to collect. I mean, I value some at that because it's my daughter's work, but I don't think I own any like actual physical art, at least not paintings that are definitely not more than $500. So like 0.15, let's say you bought it for, I can do the math, $400, and you're cool keeping that. If I had a piece of art on my wall that I bought for $400 and someone came in and offered me 10 grand, I'm selling the piece of art.
Right. I bought this for 600. 591 was the day of transaction. It was $255.
Yeah.
With the price.
So if someone wants to give me 10 grand for that, I'm selling the art.
I mean, shit. Now you're making a good case for me just accepting the WETH offer because I paid $255 for it and they're offering me $1,200. Like it feels like that's like a.
I mean, think about like using the art conversation. If you went to a gallery this weekend, you saw a piece that you loved and you bought it for $275, and next month someone comes over for dinner, like, oh, I gotta have this piece. Can I buy it? I'm not like selling it. Like, listen, I'll give you $1,200. Like, you may take the thing off the wall and let your dinner guests leave with it.
Yeah, it's a fair point. So it's like I don't even know if I'm gonna get cute with it. I may just accept this offer and sail off into the sun, assuming it even still works. It says it's there, but like it doesn't show up on my highest offers when I go on OpenSea. So I wonder if the liquidity is even still in the wallet or whatever. But I don't know. Like and I should also make sure it's not like 32 cents or something, and I'm not crazy. Although it says 0.32 WETH, 1261. So it's a yeah, man. Maybe I'll just accept this thing and call it a day, and then buy another Good Vibes Club or another Burb or another Mythic and wait to see if those get a little bit of a pump as well. Because again, like we have about a week until that Spencer announcement, and I have to think that holding
binary, it doesn't just like I don't see it may go right back to where it was like 24, 48 hours later, but there is likely a run or a sell off the day of that announcement.
Yeah, it feels like there's probably it feels like a move I should probably pull. So anyway, we'll we will see what happens there. I'm paying close attention to that one and thinking about making a couple of sales and a couple of moves there for sure. You're making me want to delist my Good Vibes Club, which is listed just shy of half an ETH over there, and which, by the way, I have a couple of them, so it's not like it's my only one, but yeah, thinking about making a couple of plays. I've been more like, look, I mean, the NFT game, if you can play it and swing trade it correctly, it is the best way to play the OpenSea game if you can do it well, because like if you lose $10 on a transaction, which I know is Blur Farming-esque, but you buy something that is 0.3, it's way better than swapping and taking a 1% fee on that, like, and losing, like $30 or whatever it is on some of the things that do similar work. I don't know. I have to do the math, but like basically like, losing $10 or $12 here or there on an NFT, but the volume you can get from it, it's like if you lose $20 on buying a mutant, you're probably cooking pretty well. So I don't know, something to pay attention to, but I'll making me want to delist some stuff now as I think about it. But it's especially like if these mythics cook, then it could be a good opportunity to make some cash while also working towards those chests, which, by the way, I think under 20 days now. Yeah, 19 days, 2 hours until those chests. I have some work to do. I am not quite where I would like to be in that journey, but I still should be doing all right in rewards wise. So we shall see. But Calvin, I know we got about 15 minutes left in the show. What else do you have on your tick list before we let everyone sail off into their weekends and we get ready for planning for our show 1000?
Well, I mean, congrats to all the plasma pre-salers. That was when I had up. Just missed the pre-sale window, and then I think I was asleep when they did the second one. So that stings a little bit. But again, truly happy for those that printed on that. If you missed it, it was a pre-sale, and all the pre-sellers did well. But they added a nice little extra stimmy to where anyone who sent anything got an extra bucket of tokens that equated about $10,000. So people that literally sent $100 into that pre-sale got returned not just their $100 worth of tokens, but another 10K on top of it. You love to see it, bull market things. And I think, I don't remember who said it, maybe Legendary, but it's like, it's not even a once in a lifetime thing here. It's not even a once a year thing. Like, we'll have another opportunity like that in a couple months. You just gotta stay locked in. Can't be taking vacations for a full week. I did it perfect timing. I did it during the great sell-off of September 2025, so I can be locked in for all of October in Q4. Two other things. Oh, well, congrats also to our friends at Rekt Drinks, hit their 1 million units. Big announcement at Korean Blockchain Week. Yeah, my Moon Crush, I think, actually may have arrived at my mailing address is not where I live, so I think it's there. I saw it shipped. I don't know if it's arrived yet, but
so you're gonna go be a porch pirate of your old house?
Yep. Oh no, I have an actual mailing address.
Oh, okay, like a PO box. Yeah.
Box, yeah. Although I did have an Amazon subscription or two that got sent to the old place, so I don't know if that gets returned or I just eat some creatine and some pre-workout. So
I'm about old houses, man. I sometimes, in the creepiest move possible, quite frankly, and I could just visit my friends who still live on the street, the people who were really kind to us. First house I bought, I think I was 27 years old, 15 years ago or so, but maybe even before that, in Columbus. Love that house. Have a strong affection for it. When we go to Columbus, we'll like drive that cul-de-sac and go past that house, which we absolutely loved, which is a very weird, creepy move. We know all the neighbors, so theoretically we could just stop at any of the neighbors' house and say hi and be like, hey, there's our old house. But like, we do that move where we'll like drive and we'll do the cul-de-sac and be like, remember, this is the house that we brought our daughter home in. This is the house where, our first house we bought, our first house we decorated together. We thought that we knew what we were doing. We went to Bed Bath & Beyond to decorate this house. We tried to create, we learned that we are not good farmers, and we killed some bushes that that they told us we could pour gasoline on and they wouldn't die when we planted them into our ground. And then our neighbor's son, who was 16, brought them back to life, which was embarrassing. So we learned a valuable lesson there. So I do that move. So there's something about a house that I've once lived in. I get very sentimental. I bawled the last time I did a walkthrough of my house that I grew up in when my mom sold that one. It's like I walked past where I remember, and it was almost like a movie where I would walk into my room. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. And I would like see the window that like a tree branch came through during a crazy storm in my room. And then I would walk downstairs and I'd look at the floor where I opened the Nintendo when I opened my Christmas presents, and like the room where I first played Duck Hunt, and the basement that I walked through that I, spent turned into my room and spent years in. And it's just, you have those moments. I get very sentimental about that sort of stuff. So I don't know, probably not the same with you in that house necessarily, but I do the weird creepy drive-by in Columbus when I go down there in my first house sometimes. So maybe a weird move, and but it's I don't know, it's public streets, so we do what we do. But yeah, Rekt Energy, by the way, sponsored with Face Clan, bullish. I mean,
basically, yeah. I mean, I'm not even joking. As long as it's good, and I assume it will be, it's not loaded with sugar or something, I'll switch to that as my primary pre-workout. Because it's not just Rekt Energy can. It's also, I mean, at least on the pictures, looks like it's also going to be powder for those of us that enjoy, overly caffeinated workouts.
And when you mainline powder, so you just like do a dry powder to the face, which is a psycho move, but I respect it. I thought that I was a psycho taking like 9 pills in one gulp. Little like Nancy Reagan eat your heart out, but like the throat goat, but like the but you're you go powder to
face. A Nancy Reagan throat goat reference on Coffee with Captain. That was not on my bingo card.
One of the all-time unexpected stories that you just hear, but hey, you see what you see. Don't Google that one for kids out there if you're not familiar with that one. But also I don't mind taking a couple shots here and there. The woman started the war on drugs because she needed something to do and caused pain for a lot of people. So yeah, man, I think the energy is a great, and they didn't just say energy. I believe, if I recall correctly, because I watched a little bit of the keynote, they said functional beverages heading that direction.
Which caffeine is functional. But yeah, I too deduce, I take that as caffeine, and I think we'll have probably some, if I were to guess, adaptogenic mushrooms, probably, like there is some good energy drinks on the market today that do this. They're just, no one's owning that corner of the beverage business, and why not Rekt? Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to build a household brand that has things other than just energy. It's like, it's the new and improved Red Bull. It's so many of these energy drinks, they just copied Red Bull, and then they all, there's sugar-free ones. So they just, again, they're just copy pastas each other. There's a few. I've referenced Odyssey on this show before. That's it's probably currently my favorite functional canned drink with.
Well, like Fit Aid and Killcliff are good examples of those where they're a little bit different, where they have vitamins and minerals in them. Fit Aid has a creatine plus one. Fit Aid has a creatine plus one. I believe Killcliff has a CBD one that they do as well, which are they're not like psychoactive or anything, but it's like my Fit Aid is like my little treat. If I go run 5 miles or I go have a really good lift, I'll drink my sour grape Fit Aid RX Plus with it, which is like kind of their creatine beverage afterwards, and helps me, it's functional, it's helpful. So the functional beverage industry to me though is wide open because I am not brand loyal to anyone. And I think a lot of people, people aren't. So
not everyone even knows them. Like Fit Aid, yes, heard of. Killcliff was a new one for me. I'm pretty not in that industry, but I pay attention to it. I consume the stuff. Like, it's just like, my point is, I don't think anyone has a real material market share lead in that space yet. And I don't see why it can't be Rekt. Like, they've ran an incredible playbook for year one to have 1 million units sold, about 3 million in revenue direct to consumer for year one. Like, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say their first year is probably in the top 5 beverage brands.
Yeah, I mean, I would say yes, and I would say here's where it's like, I think energy makes sense with FaZe Clan. If they push the turbo on functional, like what we're talking about, their community, like I can think of a dozen people I can personally sell those to. Yep. Like, not even joking. Like my buddy, the best man of my wedding, my buddy James, like he's a CrossFit trainer at a gym where I could probably sell buckets of this to the gym, right? And basically be like, hey, you're going to get a rebate this way. It's going to work this. And I could sell buckets of it. And there's crypto-friendly people at that gym who would be interested in it.
The unlock I just had as you're saying all that. Obviously, I'm very bullish on the concept of brand coins. I know it takes a unique team and it's got to be executed very well. And there's a lot of variables there. Loyalty rewards program, yes. What they've done, they've evolved direct sales. This is new and improved network marketing. This is new and improved multi-level marketing. This is new and improved direct sales. They have an army of well over 1,000 people. They have 1,000 people that are vested in their business, and they have so many, like, I don't know how many holders of Rekt coin there are today. And not that all of them are beating the Rekt Drinks drum. That's effectively what they've done. The reason network marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you want, direct sales, the reason it exists because it works. It like, are there scams in that business? Yeah, sure. There's also scams in crypto. There's also scams on Airbnbs. Like, there's scams everywhere. Not an exaggeration. Network marketing has created more millionaires than any other industry in the world. It's like most things. 97% of the people will fail and they'll lose money because it's not the right fit for them.
Right. Like every
there's no barrier of entry. The barrier of entry for most of them is like, I don't know, $100 to get signed up, or sometimes even less. So anyone can do it. Most people aren't going to have success, but for those that are wired a certain way, they've had tremendous success in that space. There's companies that a lot of us might make fun of, like Herbalife or Mary Kay, that literally have retired thousands of people. This, I think, is a better model. Like, you don't, like, they're not asking people to buy Rekt Drinks to sell to their friends, but what has everyone who's bought 5 or more cases of Rekt Drinks done?
Imagine
our friends. We are spreading the word. We are doing the the network marketing model of proliferating a brand with an army of independent sales reps without being even asked to do that. It's kind of insane if you think about it.
I'm probably going to I've made cocktails, by the way. I am keeping my OpenSea. So it's funny because
there's going to be Rekt Drink cocktail house parties. Like, instead of a sex toy party, you're going to have a Rekt Drink cocktail party and have their friends over their house and serve them all these mixed drinks with Rekts. By the way, someone should do this. I am a Rekt, right? I'm that with pride. I'm a shareholder in this business. I'm passionate about it. I hold some Rekt coin. Wish I had more Rekt coin. I have one single Rekt guy. But I am an ambassador because of how they're doing this. It's not even like relative to my portfolio or my bags. It's like, I'm not saying it's a rounding error, but it's not like, I'm not an ambassador because of my bag bias in the short term. It's not something that's like, it's just, I really appreciate how they're doing it. They're taking big swings, a novel approach. And yeah, I absolutely am an ambassador.
Tebow appreciate this one. My buddy, you mentioned the people doing the whole sex toy sales things or whatever when they used to have those parties. Had a friend in college.
No.
A friend in college. Our friend, I'm not even going to say his name. At one point, he drove a really old beat up Mercedes that we called the Executive, even though it wasn't like a nice. It was like a 2000. It wasn't even that. Anyway, we had a lot of names for a lot of things in college. I can't
make this up. Last hotel I stayed in. So first week I said extended the stay. Long story short, ended up moving hotels for the last night just because there was another party and we were going to change rooms anyways, and decided to check out the other side of the island. Stayed in an adults only hotel. Might have been the only people there. It's slow season, and this was not the hopping part of the island. Pretty sure it's like a swingers hotel. Only one there, I'm not sure, but like, let me see. Actually, I think I have a sticker. This was a sticker that I bought at the thing.
Wow. Okay, it's aggressive.
The bed had mirrors strategically placed like I'd never seen before. Like, you got every angle, and like didn't book this for this reason. It was just like, this is an interesting setup for a hotel. And seeing some of the other innuendos, they have like their gift lobby, their like little like souvenirs and stuff. Like, you could buy a candle, you could buy some stickers. You go to the room next door, and it's like
a bunch of Diddy music playing when you showed up, like
ball gags and stuff. Like, this first time I've ever seen that in a hotel lobby. But yeah, no. Anyways, how do we get on the?
I was gonna say, so my buddy, he his like family friend, who is basically like another family to him, owns whatever like the world premiere business that does those parties is called. I forget, it was something pleasure or something. I forget what it is. And he like took over the entire Australian business. And like, we literally used to, I won't even say how we used to introduce him, but we used to introduce him to new people when you were saying more things crazy in your 20s about what his job was. That was pretty fun. So it's funny you mentioned that sort of thing. But as far as the Rekt thing goes, I I like Diego's correct. I have a freezer in my or a refrigerator in my basement, in my office that is like full of my functional beverages. I'm looking at it right now. It's got my Fit Aid, my Kill Cliffs, all those things. It also has some Rekt in there, and I keep those boxes downstairs because the OpenSea Shipwrecked is an incredible mixer, whether it's with tequila or vodka. This new drink, Dawn took a drink of it. She's not a sparkling water fan. The Moonpay one, a Moon Crush, and she goes, "This would be a great mixer." So I'm probably going to take it for a spin this weekend and do some drinks, and I'm probably going to do some more do it with some more friends, and kind of maybe I'll even have a party this weekend for the Ohio State game, pull the television outside, and if it's nice fall weather and we can all have some of these. But yeah, I mean, to your point, like imagine if they had an affiliate program where it's like you could just be like, yeah, if I send it to a gym membership, I get a certain amount of Rekt token for how many they buy on an escalating basis. I want the Rekt token. They don't have to give me an actual cash share of the thing. They can just give me token, which they already have. Like, I think the gym beverage, I think energy makes sense for scaling because of FaZe Clan, the lock in there. If they come out with a creatine beverage, if they come out with a functional sort of Fit Aid, Kill Cliff type beverage, Rekt RX, Rekt, whatever you call it, I don't know, man. I could see them cooking in that, and their distribution network of fans like us would sell. Like Joey Valls would go to every gym he knows and sell the shit out of that. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. I think it's a great opportunity, and I love me some Rekt.
And I also think like I'm not saying they're going to do this. It's pure speculation. I don't have any inside knowledge, no insight whatsoever. Just connecting dots of how they're building, some things I've seen work well in the past. Like, you have to remember, they have a marketing budget of tens of millions of dollars. Let's say 50 million. It could be a little more, give or take 20 million. I don't know exactly where it's at. Maybe it's more than that now. I don't know. But they have so much Rekt to use as their marketing budget. Like, they could have rewards and incentives, not just for buying Rekt, but also for selling Rekt, for distributing Rekt. Like, there's a lot of levers they could pull here that this brand coin makes possible. Brand coin plus a rabid army of thousands of brand ambassadors. Like, there's so much they could do with this. It would make the other brand, the other drink brands a little jealous. Like, Red Bull can't do this. You know what Red Bull has to do? They have to go pay street teams significant money. Like, to do a massive campaign, it's going to cost Red Bull millions of actual cash dollars to go put these people on their payroll. Rekt has an independent army of brand ambassadors, and they really they have tapped into it to get to the first million. Imagine if they have that loyal army help them go from 1 million to 10 million. And like, to me, it seems so obvious this is going to happen. I just don't know exactly how they're going to do it or what they have up their sleeves.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on it. And to your point, like, the other thing they have is that, like, we keep seeing these mindshare campaign case studies from like the InfoFi, sites, because like Katana and Polygon did a case study with Kaido. We're seeing WallChain come out with them, as well as now if WallChain doesn't do a case study with ApeChain, they're crazy, because the way it's taken over mindshare and done things like taking down those stats is going to be wild. Point being, like, look, we have like these case studies of that. Think about, this is what I said about Bored Ape Yacht Club back in the day. This is what I said about Pudgy Penguins back in the day. This is what I said about Gutter Cats back in the day when they were pumping. And it's like, you had these communities. You need to harness that community as your decentralized marketing arm as much as humanly possible. Rekt does it as well as anyone. Pudgy does it incredibly well. Like, that's why I think they can energize that crew for the abstract crew, right? Like, ApeCoin is doing it extremely well. They put an InfoFi campaign strategically when it's worth paying for, and it is paying in spades with the amount of people and how people are talking about it. Rekt is going to be able to go out and say to any brand, any partner, anybody, we sell out in 5 minutes. We have a group of people who talk about it relentlessly. Here are examples of our top followers. Here's examples of our investors. Here's an example of our public people. We have a leader and CEO and founder in OSF who is so incredibly well-spoken and so incredibly good in front of crowds. Like, because he's got the media training, he's good at it. So he's like a perfect CEO in that he's brilliant, but he's also good in front of crowds. You don't always have those same skills together. We see it all the time in Web3 where technical founders or certain founders come out and we're like, yeah, you got to deputize someone who's good at that. He's good at it. There is so much upside for Rekt as they get into different type of beverage categories that it just makes you very, very bullish on them as a company and as a brand to know that that exists. So I think that they've got so much opportunity.
Agreed. Yep. Love to see it. Again, can't, and all that to be said, like, I don't think you can understate selling 1 million units in your first year in an insanely competitive industry that is the beverage business. It's crypto native, non-crypto native, selling it to your like, people try to spin that as a negative. Oh my God, they sold 1 million units, all to their just their loyal supporters. Like, it's a bad thing. Like people who are saying that have never sold anything. They've never done anything noteworthy. They're just a miserable human. Like, it's just oh, they're just, they're selling because of the coin. It's like, I'm sorry, they're giving you an incentive to buy as an early it's almost as if fucking Amazon didn't make a profit for years because they're pouring the money back into the business. Like, it's insane that people try to find ways to, like, basically, like, fun sucker rain on the parade. Like, well, let's see what happens when they don't have a reward. Well, base sold out while I was in a float tank in about 5 minutes. So yeah, that happened. I think it was 7 minutes. I missed on that. And I was sad I missed buying something that I can't even get those rewards for. So no, I think they're doing okay. They have ambassadors. And when you unleash an army, shout out, by the way, to Opportunist, Tag and BankerBot, how many Rekt holder coin across all chains. 131,000 people have exposure to Rekt coin across all chains. If you think even half of those are engaged and involved, you have a bigger, rabid audience than most people. They see a sense of identity with the brand. You have a PFP that's out there for it. I mean, what happens when they try to do a partnership with a sports team on their energy or whatever drink it is? And then the sports team talks about it and fucking, like, 1,000 people with Rekt PFPs and other things are saying this is awesome. And you're like, why are all these people making their entire personality around a drink brand? Like, that happens. That's huge. That's like I don't think people underestimate, like, there aren't 1,000 people with Red Bull PFPs, 300 people with Red Bull PFPs across social media going to Red Bull and being like, yeah, I just love Red Bull. What can I say? So I make it my entire, like, existence. And I, talk about how great Red Bull is all the time. They have that. Like, that is as a marketing person, I can't tell you how powerful that is. So, yeah, congratulations to them. The energy makes sense. And Moon Crush is good. The OpenSea drinks are good. I'm going to limit those for they're now my friends. I'm hiding them from because I only have limited capacity left of those. I get 3 cases of this instead of the last one. I got 2. So, and I got Jupiter drops coming on the way. So, this is one of those ones where it's like, I wish Jupiter drops were here because I did buy Jupiter drops as well. I could literally do a Rekt drink tasting. I could make Rektaritas and just give them to people. So, I'm probably going to get some tequila and some vodka for this weekend, test them out take a spin for all the different Rekt drinks and try to make some, different Rekt cocktails, but excited to get my friends continuing on those. But like that said, Cap, 10:07, I've got to eat soon. Yeah, we'll pump these for Monday. Just 2 other things. I just saw Virtuals, is killing their Genesis to build a new world. What began as an experiment, fair launch, no participation, was powerful early on, but it can't scale with what's next. After listening to builders, virgins, and the data, the path forward is clear. Genesis ends here. A new launch model is coming, built for scale, built for the next wave of agents, built to last. Virgin points will provide an initial head start in the new world and will be phased out over the next 4 weeks. I've not been farming virtual points or Virgin points. So Virtuals is certainly still noteworthy, and will be one to follow next week and see what actually they do with it. And then last thing for parting, we'll do this battle. I was going to do it here, but we'll let you claim your card. You remember, like, Uniswap did a card, then Monad did the cards. Starknet just ran it back. I don't know what Starknet does. All I know is they've got BTC-Fi announcement coming on September 30th, Steve. And you can go, I'm sure you can go claim a card as well. There's, like, I think 5,600 of these available. And they added a little twist to it after you maybe don't have to claim your card. I got a 91 aura ranking, 88 on attack, 75 defense, and we can fight. So we'll maybe wait till you claim your card and we'll do our battle on screen.
Man, my card is nerfed. You're gonna kick my ass. My it says question mark. That's
you have to claim it first. Yeah.
Wait,
so
how do I do this?
I pinned the post up top in the space from Starknet. If anyone wants to go claim or see if you're eligible to claim a card, those are the link to that. Just make sure you click on the official Starknet account. Starknet's been around for a while. Again, I truly have no idea what they do. I'm a sucker for a good social farm engagement here. And wanted to see. So they called me. I send meme coin alerts via sports betting analogies. I mean, not exactly accurate, but they're definitely doing some good scraping there. And they said you are a cheerleader.
They have
What
a
is it?
355 ethos score, and they're way red. So I don't know if I want to click on links from them right now.
Starknet?
Yeah. Like, you're probably fine. I'm sure you're fine. But
I mean, Starknet's fine.
yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Like, I'm not like trying to make you paranoid, but I don't know that I want to fuck with. I mean, I'm gonna look them up on ethos because that is a heck of a score. 397 reviews. Let's see if we can find it. It might just be something. I mean, I see like worthless protocol, money grabbing users, low traction layer 2. Starknet sucks. My experience Starknet was disappointing. Zk now worthless protocol. Okay, so people just don't like it. Stark.
I don't disagree with you. Like, I truly don't know what Starknet does or what they've done. I just know they've been around for a while, and they're building towards BTC-Fi. You know, they have a new incentive programs about to launch on Starknet. They're going to reveal it at BTC-Fi Summit. More details coming on the 30th.
Got it. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be paranoid or anything like that. I think they're getting slashed because for them on yeah, I'll pay attention to it. I think it's just I'll pay attention to it and go on it. I am curious to claim my card and see what my numbers are just because I want to see what they look like. But yeah, people seem to. I think maybe they just rugged an airdrop or something and people were pissed about it. We shall see. And
I have no expectation for this card. It's probably worthless. It's probably nothing comes of it. I just, assuming it's safe and it costs me nothing, anytime there is a limited availability, free claim, I had to connect my X. Like, I didn't have to connect a wallet. So,
oh, okay, that makes me feel a little more comfortable. Versus a wallet or something like that. No, it's cool. Wasn't trying to bring the mood down there. It's just I went to them, and anytime you see a ethos score that's worse than Dave Portnoy, definitely sends my attention.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Someone slashed
Yeah,
them.
they got slashed or something. I haven't read the slash, but if it's if anybody out there knows, let us know. But it's a, like I said, claiming a card.
Good on ethos. I think this is another proof positive of ethos. Like, it's what it should be. It should, if someone, a protocol, an individual did something that a lot of people felt a certain way about, you'd like to know that before you invest any time, energy, or connect anything to said account. So, I mean, I think that's likely a positive, a little feather in ethos cap here.
Yeah. It can view my post, doesn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, the permissions on X aren't like too scary. So my there you go. My got my card. So did it live. My Stark card. I don't remember what your stats are. I am attack 89, defense 84, energetic.
I'm 88.75. What's your aura?
Where do I see my aura? 95.
Right. Yeah, I'm only 91.
Okay. It says, yeah, optimistic about blockchain projects and community growth. And I am on fire, which is also kind of badass. I do like the style of that. So shout out Starknet for making me giving me a little bit of pumping up the boys there. Look, that said, 10:30. We got a lot to do. We got a weekend. We got stuff to plan.
I haven't seen Duke for weeks, as long as I've been apart from him. So I got to go get my boy.
Yeah, go get your boy. Take him out. I'm going to go enjoy my day. But hey, man, awesome way to end the week. Glad to have you back. I mean, honestly, like, makes my day happy. Got you back. Really enjoy. I mean, just similar to you. It's like when I'm out, you're always like, yeah, I appreciate it. When you're back, like, appreciate it. Love all the co-hosts that we have. Appreciate them all coming through. But it's great being back in the saddle with my hetero life partner, Cap. Appreciate that. Like that. Son scored 2 goals in soccer. I'm going to rewatch that videos. I assumed if you rewatch the videos, like, yeah, I watched it back once. I'm like, I watched it like 10 times.
I was going to say, dude, like that, dude, I can't tell you, like, as you saying that, like, maybe the biggest singular point of instilling confidence in myself as a younger kid, similar situation. It was baseball, but I was probably your son's age. I think I was 13 and I was playing up with 14 and 15-year-olds. And I was just, it was my peak of baseball. Like, I was batting either 3 or 4 all season, didn't strike out the entire year. I wasn't a power hitter, but the ball was coming in, it looked like a volleyball. Like, it was huge. They couldn't get me out. And it wasn't, did it mean anything like long-term in my baseball career? No. But it just like the level of confidence, like hey, if I put my mind to something, like I can compete with anyone in anything. And I know that's like hyperbole, but that's how I felt at that age. And I'm sure your son he's more confident today than he was last Friday, because he went out and he competed with people who he's not supposed to be competing with by traditional standards, right? They're older than him, they're bigger than him, they're stronger than him. And good on him. Congratulations. Good on you. And good to be back. I definitely had a lot of fun this past week, but as a routine and habit-based individual, I definitely found myself, I was looking forward to tuning in with you and all of our loyal listeners this morning. So good to be back.
It's good to break the habit sometimes. Good to break the routine a little bit, get out and enjoy it. But it's like, it's like having it back is good and being back on track. And it's cool. It's very cool to see as a parent. And it's like you could see, and you probably see this in your daughter too when she was playing. It's like you could see his confidence growing because he played good early on in the game and he was doing well even before he scored the goal. And then you could see the way he was dribbling, the way he was moving. I'm like, he's feeling confident and he's playing correct. So it was cool to see. So nice seeing that. And again, like I'm down about 10 pounds in about a month. I was worried about like where I was going to be. And I woke up this morning, weighed myself and, probably still have 5 to 7 more pounds to go to be really happy with it. But like, I know this is cliche. Like my clothes are fitting pretty much the same. I don't think my clothes are fitting that differently, even though I'm down that much. It feels the same. Maybe I'm wrong. It's when I get on that treadmill or when I go and lift and I'm stronger and I'm faster and like I feel better. It's just, you realize that there is that direct correlation when I'm like, why am I not feeling tired? Why am I vibing so much? So probably going to get on the treadmill again today and try to hit another at least 5 miles and keep it going. And it's also when you see that stuff, it's motivating where it's like, I'd like to go out to that diner I go to sometimes and get my normal sort of, buffalo chicken wrap with some fries, but probably just going to eat some straight meat again today because I'm feeling motivated and tomorrow is going to be a heck of a day. So look, Cap, let's send everybody off in their day. We appreciate everyone coming through this morning. We will
especially 1 in a million who attempted to keep things PG for us, talking instead of sex parties, he likened our Rekt parties to Tupperware parties, which is more audience appropriate.
There you go. Tupperware, which was watching. I'm not caught up on Big Brother, but there were some people having a discussion on Big Brother the other day. This won't be a spoiler. And 2 people, one of which is a lawyer, thought it was Tupperware. And they were like Tupperware. And one of the guys was like, what did you say? And the other chick was like, Tupperware? You've never heard of Tupperware? And he's like, how would you spell that? And they were like, Tubb, maybe there's 1 B. He's like, I know what Tupperware is. It's Tupperware. And like 2 people, 2 adults in their late 20s and early 30s who have grown up their entire life and think that it is.
Tell me you've never been to a Tupperware party without telling me.
Yeah, I mean, really. Or any other type of party like Cap goes to in hotels. But look, that said, let's set everybody off into their weekend. We will appreciate everyone coming by today. We will talk to everybody bright and early Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And my friends, Show 1000 next week. We're going to do some fun stuff for us. So you're going to want to come through. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.